Two longtime rivals renew their longtime rivalry here at home for the Brockbusters, and they are coming off arguably their most disappointing loss of the season a week ago. They try to right the ship against their rivals from the East. It's the Brockbusters and the Conquistadors, Week 6 here on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo will join us here momentarily from the sidelines. I'm Mike Pilosoff. This is the American Implement pregame show. John, let's get right to it. The Brockbusters lose a game, and in this shortened, condensed, crazy spring season, you couldn't afford to lose one game because that basically takes you out of the running unless crazy things happen, which we've seen that happen before. But the question right now with Garden City coming off the loss against Hutch because you're 4-1, what do you have to play for?
Well, Mike, I think first of all, they have a tremendous opportunity. Each kid down there on the field has a tremendous opportunity to sit here and get better at their craft. I mean, obviously they're playing football because they love football. This gives them a structured, organized way of improving their skills. So I think that first and foremost is one of the reasons. The second reason is, hey, put some play on some game film, you know, because that might help better your future as far as going to a four-year school and playing there. That's also something that comes to mind. And then probably the last thing, I mean, you know what? You play the game for fun, and you play to win, and those two things, those kids should have pride in. And that's why I think, you know what? Hey, that's why you play.
Now, part of the issue last week, and you know, you and I talked about this probably about 10 minutes before we came on the air. You know, it's great that you say all those things, but if you win the game last week and then you can do all those things, you can almost do both of them, right? You can still play for a national championship, and you get your chance to be better. But for the Brockbusters, the last two games, we're going to bring in CD on this point as well. The fact that you have arguably one of the best rushing teams in the country from a year ago, and CD, the last two games against Indy, they had 63 yards on the ground, and then last week against Hutch, 31 yards rushing. It's been an issue for Tom Minnick's offense.
Yeah, and we kind of wondered how things were going to change once the competition got a little better for Garden City. And we kind of saw that, you know, weaker opponents in those first few weeks. Obviously, Coach Minnick would have liked to have played the better teams earlier on, but you play those few games, you get a bunch of rushing yards, then you play Indy and Hutch back-to-back weeks. Not so great because the better defenses, and that's kind of what happened those past 2 weeks, and this Garden City team will most likely be looking to get back on track in the running game against Dodge City today.
Yeah, you talk about that because Dodge City's defense is allowing 110 yards per game, and that's not the story. If you look over the last few years, they have not been good stopping the run. They were 40th last year, 4th most in the country in 2018. Now, speaking of Dodge City, look, guys, they haven't played in 3 weeks. They had the Butler game, then they had a bye week, and then they were supposed to play Fort Scott. That game got canceled. So they've had 3 weeks off in the middle of already a condensed season.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird deal. I mean, 3 weeks off, I mean, you're going to get plenty rusty in that time. And I would imagine that some of the timing and the rhythm is off. I mean, things aren't going to be as crisp as they normally would be had you played those games. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how Dodge City comes out and plays today.
And speaking of trying to get something started for Dodge City, they're 1-2, but their win is over Resolution Prep. Look, Ricky Kuhn in his second year, they're 1-12 in his first 13 games. It has been I'm not talking about a struggle. It has been a definite struggle for the second-year coach.
Yeah, he's you know, he's got some things he's got to fix. I mean, he's got some issues, and you know, I'm sure he's going to be anxious to play at Garden City today and see how much they've improved as far as that goes.
And I'm glad you mentioned the fact that they don't have, you know, it's hard to build a rhythm when you've been off for 3 weeks. That's something he keyed in on when I spoke with him earlier in the week, and Coach Kuhn said, look, Mike, you don't normally get 3 weeks off in the middle of the year, but when you know, you have it now, penalties become an issue, offensive line play becomes an issue, because you mentioned it, rust.
Yeah, well, you know, the only good thing that might happen is if you got somebody that was very good for you injured, it gives them 3 weeks to recover. So
always the silver lining.
Yes.
Take a break. Much more to come on the American Implement pregame show. When we come back, we will hear from Brockbuster head coach Tom Minnick. We go behind enemy lines, and we'll hear from second-year Dodge City head coach Ricky Kuhn, and then also my pregame conversation with starting defensive back Keelan Kennedy. That all comes your way next on 99.9 The Rock. Welcome back on the pregame show here at Blockbuster Stadium alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff. It's Garden City and Dodge City here on 99.9 The Rock. My pregame conversation with head coach Tom Minnick is presented by QSI. I say you lose a football game. I know in junior college it's a little different because you lose one game, the whole season go out the window. So motivational factors now moving forward, how much of a challenge has that been, getting your guys motivated for a season that could very well be over, even though really it's not?
It's difficult, but we still got a chance, to tie for the conference championship. If Independence wins against Hutch, so our kids are still motivated. They actually showed some emotion this week in practice. You would think last week they would have showed it playing against the number one team in the nation, but they showed more emotion beating Independence than they did Hutch, playing Hutch. But I think, if we can get these three, in the next 3 weekends, we'll have a chance to at least tie for the conference championship, and then if somebody has a bowl game, maybe get invited to a bowl game. So we're kind of throwing everything at them. This is what can happen, and maybe still an outside chance of a national championship type team if we get some help, which it's going to be hard this year.
Does that drive you insane as a coach that the game that you needed them to show the energy, they didn't, and then here you are the week after you've lost the game?
I blame it on that dang show. I think everybody wants to beat Independence just because of that show. And then you come up next week and you play a number one team and they weren't even fired up to play them. It was kind of funny that they showed more emotion and stuff against Independence just because of that show than they did against Hutch.
Tom Minnick joining us here on the pregame. You're a former quarterback, so you know this more than most, that quarterback play is essential, especially at this level. You've seen it. You've had some good ones. Mike Irwin had good points in the second half against Independence and some lowlights in the game against Hutch. He didn't have much help either. How have you been in his ear? What are you telling him this week?
We're still getting after him and trying to make him see why he should be on a certain side, why he shouldn't be on a certain side, what his reads are, this and that. And he's getting it every practice, so we're coaching him hard. He takes it, and you just got to keep on him, and hopefully he'll get it here pretty soon. He's had a little bit better week in practice. There's some throws he's made that's been pretty good in practice, and then there's other ones he hasn't made, because he's on the wrong side and not doing what he's supposed to be doing. But we expect a lot of our quarterbacks, and I can assure you that Bryce Perkins and Tanner McAvoy and all the guys we've had in the past, even Nate Cox will tell you we're hard on our quarterbacks. You got to perform, and you got to be a smart guy and know what side to be on and know what the defense is doing to have a chance in our offense.
I know it seems like a simple concept, but getting quarterback play to translate from practice to an actual game setting, how challenging is that, especially for a guy at this level who, he's the backup quarterback. So how much of a challenge is that?
It's a challenge, especially when you start off, you thought you were going to be a number one quarterback, and then you get beat out, and now you're jumping back into the number one role, and you might not have been ready for it at first. And maybe it's a good thing the second half. He didn't know he was going in until, right before the kickoff of the second half. Then he found out he was going in. And then he had, all this time, a week to get ready, and he goes, "I'm the number one guy," and he kind of, was nervous. I'm guessing, but he's gotten better. You just got to keep improving, and that's with any quarterback, any player. You got to keep improving to make sure you're better each and every week. And we tell the kids 2% better each and every day, and that's what he's got to strive for each and every day, is getting 2% better.
Your defense, led by Jerry Dominguez, has been incredible. Look, I had a couple of busts against Hutch, but to be expected when you're on the field for over 30 minutes. But for the most part, this season, how would you describe your defense?
Well, Jerry probably don't think they've done well enough, because you're on defense, you've got to stop people, and that means a 0 on the board. And anytime they score, Jerry gets mad. So he expects a lot more of them than everybody else does as well. So it's kind of we've always been that way, just like we expected to get to national championship game, and then when that doesn't happen, you're disappointed. And that's what we set high goals for ourselves. I hate losing. Our staff hates losing, And Jerry's the same way with the defense. Even when they get one positive yard, he's mad. So they've been, as a head coach, you look at it, they've been the mainstay of our football team right now. The defensive line. They'll come up and hit you. They play the whistle. They do things right. And there's some good football players on that side of the ball. Now we're missing our main kid, probably our best player, Jonathan Huggins over there. And last week we mentioned Shamar Pearl, which is an SEC defensive end. We were missing both those kids last week on that side of the ball. So that made a little bit difference because Jonathan makes a lot of plays for us. So, but that being said, we just got to continue to play football. And, there's 3 games left. And God at least helped us out with spring football, and we gotta, play this spring, and that's more important than anything.
All right, looking at Dodge City, is Tom Minnick joining us here on the pregame. First game was almost like a glorified scrimmage, and they jumped out on Butler, lost the game. They got blown out by Coffeyville. What have you seen from Dodge City?
Their strength, I think, is on their defensive line. The 3 DTs, their nose guard, and their 2 DTs are pretty dang good. We got to make sure we can control them to be able to run the ball against them. And it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen in a rivalry game. They're 50 miles down the road, and same with the high schools. Garden City and Dodge City High School. It's a big rivalry game. It's a big rivalry game for the junior colleges as well. And nobody wants to see you lose at Dodge City.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Anytime a new coach comes into Garden, that's the first thing whether you're a board of trustee or you're a member of the Brockbuster Athletic Association, that's the first message that you tell the incoming coach. Don't lose to Dodge City. The Brockbusters have done a good job not doing that the last few years. Garden City has won each of the last 4 meetings between these 2 programs. Take a time out. When we come back, we will hear from Dodge City's second-year head coach, Ricky Kuhn. Also my pregame conversation with starting defensive back Keelan Kennedy. That comes your way next on 99.9 The Rock. Back on the pregame show alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff. It's the Brockbusters and the Conquistadors here in Week 6. My pregame conversation with Dodge City head coach Ricky Kuhn. Year 2 for you. What's been the most challenging aspect besides COVID? Because I think that's the easy answer for everybody at this point. But what's been year 2 most challenging aspect for you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things, and it's just kind of roster management. Our numbers are a little bit lower than they probably would be in a normal season. So we don't have the depth that we would like to have that we would probably have in the fall. And the second thing is I think just trying to keep the kids interested this long. When you started way back in the summer and went through fall ball and into spring and school's getting ready to be out, and it just can't be a challenge to keep them engaged the whole time.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I've talked with our coaching staff about keeping them engaged after you lose a game. But you bring up a good point about bringing these guys in the summer, and then you're almost 12 months in basically and trying to keep them engaged. So, but I'm going to go to the question that I did ask our coaches as far as when you lose games in junior college early, it is hard to keep them motivated and engaged. So how have you been able to do that?
Yeah, it is hard, I think, and I've coached at every level. It's hard at every level when you lose games with young people, but you just have to keep sending the message, and hopefully your losses, there's enough good that they could see if they play better, then good things will happen. And we've seen that in both of our losses. We've had opportunities, missed opportunities, and so far we've had some good preparation, and the guys have not been down too bad.
Ricky Kuhn joining us here on the pregame show. You had a bye week after the game against Butler, and then you had the de facto bye week with Fort Scott canceling.
Yeah.
How frustrating is that? And I've asked, several coaches, even Hutch's coach, when Fort Scott canceled basically 24 hours before the game. How frustrating is that when you're losing games in the spring when you're trying to keep these guys motivated?
Well, our kids and all these programs have worked really hard, and so to miss an opportunity is frustrating. Especially, when it was for us, it was a winnable football game. And instead of having 2 weeks in a row off, you might come into this week with another win under your belt, and that obviously wins build confidence. And anytime you can win, and when we line up tomorrow, it'll really be the first time in 3 weeks. If you count the whole week of preparation. So I'm worried about first game issues in the middle of the season because we've had 3 weeks off.
When you look at your quarterback situation, you had Chase Orndorff, who's back from last year. He started the first game, and then you switched quarterbacks after that. Is there something that you were keying in on specifically on why you made the change?
No, we just have been inconsistent there. We feel like there's been some missed opportunities at that position. We've had some open receivers and and we just have not been able to get them the football like we need to. We have some really explosive skill guys, but we got to be able to get them the football, and we haven't been able to do that. And so we're just searching for a guy that can get that done.
Last year against Garden City, you jumped out to a double-digit lead, and obviously Garden City came back and won the game, and they basically scored like 30 points unanswered to close that out. When you go back and you watch the film, and I know it's two different teams, but when you go back, what's most disappointing about that Week 2 game with Garden City last year?
Well, obviously we jumped out early, and then, I don't know if everybody knows this, but our quarterback ended up getting hurt and left the game, Orndorff, and we never scored another point. And he was locked in, and he was making throws, and he was making decisions, and it's like they couldn't stop us. And then he got hurt, and then we weren't the same, and we had a turnover right after that. I think they had a short field and scored, and you could just see it kind of spiral, you know what I mean? And so it was frustrating that we couldn't hold on and win the game.
Dodge City last year was up 22-7 midway through the second quarter against the Brockbusters. Garden City then followed with 35 consecutive points, and they won it in a blowout, 42-22. Take a timeout. When we come back, much more to come. We will hear from starting defensive back Keelan Kennedy. That's next on 99.9 The Rock. Back on the pregame show alongside C.D. DeSalvo, John Ford, Mike Pilosoph. It's Garden City and Dodge City. We have starting defensive back Keelan Kennedy. All right, for those that don't know your story, you were a Division II guy, played at Fort Hays State. You grew up in Florida, but you came to Kansas. Take us through your path and how in the world you ended up at junior college.
Well, I ended up going Division II out of high school. Didn't have any big looks. Ended up going to Fort Hays and redshirting, and then starting my redshirt freshman year and having a pretty good year, making all conference. So I decided to leave and end up coming to Garden City, having an opportunity. Was talking to my friend John Huggins. He was coming, and I sent him my film, and then John got back with me and said they liked me, and that's how I ended up in Garden City.
The fact that you were under-recruited and you ended up at a Division II, do you almost feel like being at junior college is more maybe like a prove-it year this year?
Definitely was like a prove year for me, for myself, and I wanted to make my family proud. So I always felt that I can do better, and I never wanted to settle. So coming here and getting the opportunity to talk to the Division I coaches and people I didn't really get to have the opportunity with in high school is major.
How much motivation is that, knowing that, hey, man, like, because watching you on the field, I mean, you look like a #1 corner, but for all the people that doubted you and everything else, how much do you use that as a motivation?
I don't really think about the doubt. Like, of course the doubt motivated me, but I don't really think about it. I just think about the people who are there for me. I don't really try to think about the people who are not there for me. I try to think about, like, my family and how much, like, faith and just they have a lot of faith in me and they know what I can do. So I just try to go out there and make them proud.
Keelan Kennedy joining us here on the pregame show. Compare the MIAA, which is one of the top Division II conferences in the country, and then now you're playing in one of the top junior college conferences in the nation. What's the biggest difference from a talent standpoint that you've seen so far?
From talent standpoint, there is a few games where it's a bit different from the MIAA, but in the big games, it's basically like the same thing. Talent levels up. It's good athletes out there, Division I guys, and they're fighting for their shot too. So it's a high competition level.
I've talked with your coach. I've talked with the entire staff. I've talked with a couple of guys about this. You lose a game against Hutch. I'll get into the specifics of that game in a second. But being able to be motivated moving forward, because can you guys still play for the national championship? There's a small percentage that yes, but you lose a game in junior college. How does this team stay motivated now with these 3 games remaining?
We felt that we should have played better and that we could have won that game if we would have came up and played how we really played. So we want to bounce back and show the nation that we still are who we are and that game doesn't define our season, that we still ready to rock and roll with anybody in the nation.
How good is this defense? I know on the outside looking in, you know, we look at numbers and, man, you guys have got some studs on the front 4, the linebacking core, and then obviously in the secondary, even with Huggins out. But how good is this defense in your opinion?
I think this defense is pretty good. We run to the ball. We all show effort. It doesn't take any talent to show effort, and we really standard on running to that ball. So I think this defense is pretty good, very talented all around.
All right, lastly, looking at Dodge City, give us a scouting report on what you expect to see.
I expect to see a hard-fought game between both teams, but we come out on top with effort and our talent over there. So I feel like it's going to be a good game, but we're going to get them at the end.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate that.
Keelan Kennedy, starting defensive back from Daytona Beach, Florida, the transfer from Fort Hays State. Take a timeout, back in 30 with today's starting lineups. That's next on 99.9 The Rock. Back at Blockbuster Stadium alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff closing in on the kick between the Blockbusters and the Conquistadors, the 81st all-time meeting. And let's get into tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Hydro Resources. And first, we meet the Blockbusters.
Let's meet the Bronkbusters offensive starters.
Mike Irwin, quarterback, sophomore, Lake Oswego, Oregon.
Jordan Ford, running back, sophomore, Atlanta, Georgia.
C.K. Carter, O-lineman, freshman, Atlanta, Georgia.
Basketball NA, O-line, sophomore, Palatine, Illinois.
Carter Havoc, O-line, redshirt sophomore, Monroe, Washington.
Tomaso DeCore, O-line, sophomore, Columbus, Ohio.
Isaiah Adams, offensive lineman, sophomore, Ajax, Ontario.
Bryce Davis, tight end, sophomore, Huntington, West Virginia.
Cameron LeBourne, receiver, freshman, Norfolk, Virginia.
Austin Simmons, wide receiver, freshman, Atlanta, Georgia.
Now it's time to meet the Bronkbusters starting defense.
Intercepted under pressure, Hansen, and he's sacked.
Raymond Cutts, defensive end, redshirt freshman, Orlando, Florida.
Darius Johnson, nose, Spokane, Washington.
Elisha Hill, defensive tackle, sophomore, Tempe, Arizona.
Arvell Ferguson, defensive end, sophomore, St. Louis, Missouri.
Cameron Johnson, linebacker, sophomore, here, Georgia.
Christian Furman, linebacker, redshirt freshman, Queen Creek, Arizona.
Keelan Kennedy, cornerback, sophomore, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Antoine Davis, cornerback, redshirt freshman, Macon, Georgia.
Wesley Miley, roller, sophomore, Ever Beach, Hawaii.
Christopher Smith, defensive back, sophomore, Auburn, Georgia.
Xavier Roberson, freshman, DB, Lakeland, Florida.
That's the starting offense and defense for coordinator Mike Orthman and Jerry Dominguez. Notable absence, again, Jonathan Huggins out for the remainder of the regular season. The defensive back, the transfer from Florida. Also, Shamar Pearl, who missed last week, is back this week. So that's the good news for the starting defense. So let's meet the Dodge City Conquistadors. They come in with a record of 1-2, 0-2 in conference play. Their starting offense, Isaiah Wright, the starting right tackle, Jamaica Watts at right guard, Jalen Dunbar, 6'2 sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina, is the starting center. DeAndre Richard is the left guard, and then Malik Nash, who's a returner from last year, is the starting left tackle for head coach Ricky Kuhn. The wideouts, Cam Faison, a 5'10 freshman from Reeltown, Alabama. Willie Gaines, a 5'9", 160-pound freshman from Cocoa Beach, Florida. And then Donovan Brown, 5'11", 170-pound freshman from Huntsville, Alabama. The backs, C.J. Hall, who's coming off a great game against Butler at 21 carries for 217 yards. He's a 5'10", 190-pound sophomore from Live Oak, Florida. And then the starting quarterback, we think, they've gone back and forth, is Kobe Koppel, 6 foot, 180-pound redshirt freshman from Tampa. He got the majority of the first-team reps this week in practice. Dodge City runs a 3-4 quickly. Ty Lalogo, Kevontae Fanning, Jontrell Stewart up front, Kavarian Martin-Scott, Brendan Hardy, Nico Herafeta, and Devin Cowan. The linebackers, Taekwon Hayes, Jalen Armwood are the defensive backs. Slayton Clark and Jamal Destina are the starting safety men. Dodge City, John, gets the football first, and really quick, let's get to your keys.
All right, it's very simple. This week, quarterback play. We got to have the proper reads. Secondly, we got to catch the ball when it's there. We didn't do that at all last week. We got to do it this week. And then third of all, offensive line has got to show up.
Quick, simple, to the point. 85 degrees, the 81st all-time meeting underway as Leo Marini skips that one into the end zone and out of the back of the end zone. And now Dodge City starts 1st and 10, moving left to right at their own 25-yard line. And this is a Dodge City offense that started the year really well against Resolution Prep at 511 total yards, but just 163 against Coffeyville at 363 in the loss against Butler. So 1st and 10 Conquistadors. They're wearing the white jerseys with the purple helmets and the gold Conquistador on the side of the helmet.
That's on Orangedorf or?
Nope, that's Rashad McKee, the third-string quarterback, gets the start for Dodge City. And he's got two receivers right on 1st and 10 Dodge on the left hash. Gaines goes in motion from left to right, claps his hands, takes the snap, and a quick screen left to C.J. Hall, and he's gang tackled left sideline by Malay, who pushes him out. On the far side of the field, getting help from Elijah Daravel, who's on the field after a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down and 9 for Dodge City.
You can see Dodge's strategy is to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. Get him out and get the running back or whoever he's passing to out in space.
Not very often in your 4th game of the year, you're playing your 3rd-string quarterback. 2nd and 9 Dodge, left hash, their opening possession from their own 26. And the shotgun is McKee. To his right is Hall. Takes the snap and hands it for Hall. Off of left tackle, cuts back right, has a 1st down. Met by Zay Roberson up the left hash across the 40 to the 41-yard line. But that picks up 15 yards and a Dodge City 1st down.
Mike, you know, he had like 217 yards against Butler. And that's pretty good. So that says something about C.J. Hall.
Hall, the sophomore from Live Oak, Florida, had 1,071 rushing yards as a senior in high school. Trips to the near side right. 1st and 10 Dodge City from their own 40 on the left hash. Shotgun snap, McKee under pressure. Whips one to the near side right, incomplete. Malay came in unimpeded to the quarterback, and he tries to hit Tristan Jones on a quick out on the near side at the 45 of Dodge City, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
That's Dodge City's way of trying to compensate for our rush, because our rush is on them like rat on cheese. And in order to kind of neutralize that, they got to get the ball out quick.
Jones and Edwards split to the right. Gaines goes left on 2nd and 10. Dodge City from their own 40. Handoff for Hall. Wiggles off of left tackle, and he spins maybe for 3 outside the left hash to the 43 of Dodge City. Eli Hill, whose dad made the trip from Phoenix, Arizona, out to Garden City to watch this game, is in on that tackle for Garden City. Actually, they push it back to the 42, so it only gains 2, and it's now 3rd and 8. Hill has been really good in the middle of that line. 6'3" sophomore from Phoenix. 3rd and 8 Dodge from their own 42. Converting just 30% this year on 3rd down. Garden City showing blitz and some movement on the left side of the line.
Left tackle, Mike.
For Dodge City.
Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's like the referee just got out of a wind tunnel. Hello, Mark Kinman. So it's a false start against Dodge City, and that backs it up now to the 37. So 3rd and 13 from there. Conquistadors 12 of 40 thus far in their first 3 games on 3rd down. Jones and Edwards right, 2 receivers left with McKee, the 3rd-string quarterback in the shotgun. Garden rushes 3. McKee steps up, wiggles to his right, back at his own 30, spins back left. Rainbows went up the sideline, incomplete at the Dodge City 45, looking for C.J. Hall. There was just nobody there, and great coverage from Garden City, and Dodge will punt the football on 4th and 13.
Good defense by Garden City on the first set of downs. I will tell you, though, that, you know what, if he makes a good pass, there is a receiver there that was standing on the backside of that defense.
And guys, wind out of the south, 20 miles per hour, and Dodge City's.
Yeah, Dodge City right now is punting into the wind. And last week, and to CD's point, before he got cut off with 13:08 left in the first, it was an adventure to punt the ball last week.
Minus 29 yards.
Guidry to punt this ball for Dodge City, and he gets it into the wind. Wobbly spiral. LeBourne, that might have hit LeBourne. Dodge City fields it at the 34-yard line. That was very close, and it did. They said it hit LeBourne, and Dodge City recovers. That's Slayton Clark, the free safety that recovers for Dodge City, and a major mistake, and Dodge City takes over in plus territory.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good call.
Did it hit? Did it hit? LeBourne?
Yeah, it hit LeBourne.
That's Dodge City's ball.
12:59 to go here in the first quarter. If you're LeBourne, you've got 5 guys around you, CD. Why are you even trying to field the ball?
It's a good question.
Ball was cut by Garden City, recovered by Dodge City. 1st down.
You know, sometimes you just try to be too cute. We've seen it with Independence inside the 5-yard line, Hutch to a certain extent last week as well. And now Dodge City keeps the football with 12:59 to go off a Brockbuster turnover, just their 3rd giveaway in 6 games this year. 1st and 10 Dodge City. No score, their 2nd possession. Left hash moving left to right at the Garden City 34. McKee in the shotgun, Hall on his left hip. Ankle high snap, and he drops back. Rolls to his right, chased by Ferguson and Malay. Breaking tackles right hash mark, and out to the numbers, and he's spilled at the 26 by Arvell Ferguson. After a gain of about 8, it's 2nd down and a long 2 close to 3 coming up for Dodge.
I think Dodge has something wrong with one of their offensive linemen. Looks like he may have gotten sick. He's over there kind of wobbling. I don't think he's hurt. I just think he's sick.
It's a lot warmer today than it has been for a good portion of the season. They put it back to the 28 now, so it's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 for Dodge City from there. Tristan Jones comes to the near side right. 3 receivers go left with McKee in the shotgun. Chest high snap, hands for Hall. Goes left, darts back right, has a 1st down, spins off one tackler then another, and has stood up inside the 15. The pile still moves down to the 12-yard line, and now a flag comes in afterwards. Arvell Ferguson was there along with Chris Smith to finally make the tackle at the 12. That gains 16 yards. You can add half the distance now.
Garden City player involved in the play without a helmet on.
I think there's going to be, I think both these penalties are against Garden City. I think there are 2 penalties. I think one's for piling on.
I think it was Sumalo that lost his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who it was.
As we await the call.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. Number 99 participated in the play after his helmet came off. half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. First down.
I know they're talking about player safety, guys, but how is it a personal foul? Like, he's putting his own safety at risk. I get that.
Well, what's more is how did they know that the helmet wasn't ripped off by a Dodge City guy? I mean, come on.
That puts the ball at the 6, so that play nets 22, and now it's 1st and goal, Dodge City. They are 8 of 15 this year in the red zone.
Dodge City's offensive linemen are looking for unbuckled helmets.
Gaines and Brown go left, along with Jajabian Edwards. Solo receiver right is Tristan Jones. 1st and goal from the 6. McKee in the gun on a quick slant over the middle, and it's incomplete for Edwards. Chris Smith had the coverage about a yard deep in that brown painted end zone. It's 2nd down and goal for Dodge City, no score.
I'll tell you what, if I was Dodge City, I'd give it to C.J. Hall because that Garden hasn't proven that they can stop him yet.
Dodge City offensive line's put 2 either way. Eludes a sack, wobbles a pass to the right, and it's incomplete at the goal line, and a flag comes out late, and this may be pass interference against Garden City. The pass was intended for Tristan Jones. They might get Chris Smith or Davis on pass interference or a hold.
Both players holding each other there.
Remember last week, guys, it was Davis that got called for that questionable pass interference in the end zone against Hutch.
Davis isn't arguing this one much, though.
That was pretty clear. The beanbag came out and also the flag.
Holding. Defense, number 23. Half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Now the break there, it's not pass interference.
Correction.
First down.
First down.
Yeah.
So I say
Minnick and Dominguez arguing that offensive players holding too.
So you just let it go.
That's what he should have done.
11:33 to go in a scoreless first. 1st and goal now for Dodge City. The Garden City offense has not been on the field yet. 1st and goal now for Dodge at the 8 on the right hash. Press man coverage on the outside. Jones comes right. Edwards, Gaines, and Brown all go left with McKee using his right index finger to point out the Mike linebacker. He's in the shotgun. Claps his hands, knee-high snap. Looks right on a fade, back right corner, and it's bobbled and dropped in the end zone by Jones, working on Davis, and it's 2nd down and goal for Dodge City.
I'd like to know what the difference between that was and the penalty.
That's an excellent point. And you know I don't give you much credit. Dodge City's had the ball for the first 3.5 minutes of this first quarter. If you're just tuning in, Dodge picked up 1 first down on their opening drive and then punted, but the ball on the punt hit LeBourne in traffic and Dodge City recovered, and they moved it from the plus 34 now to the 8, and this drive extended by that defensive hold on Antoine Davis. 2nd and goal Dodge from the 8-yard line. Trips left, Solo right, shotgun for McKee and some movement, and they might have got Jamaica Watts, the right guard. This has been a train wreck sequence for Dodge City.
Illegal snap on the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Dodge City wanted, yeah. He moved and then he didn't snap the ball yet, but he was already going to block. I think he forgot to snap the ball. 2nd and goal now from the 13. 3 receivers go left. Solo right is Jones. McKee in the shotgun. Knee-high snap, 4-man pressure. Steps up, rolls right. And Raymond cuts, gobbles him up, getting some help from the opposite side of the field. But that was Cuts that forced him back in the interior, credited with the sack back at the 23. That loses 10, and it's 3rd and goal for Dodge.
Look, our defense did this against Independence. They did it against Hutchinson, and now they're doing it again against Dodge City. I really think our defense is of championship quality.
Jadarius Bernard was also in on that sack for Garden City. Now 3rd and goal for Dodge from the Garden City 23. This is the 7th play of this drive. 2-by-2, McKee in the shotgun. Ankle high snap, Garden City rushes 4. McKee rainbows one to the end zone, left side, caught by Gaines, then he drops it out of bounds. Wouldn't have mattered, he was about 5 yards out of bounds. Carrick Alexander had the coverage for Garden City, and now it's 4th and goal for Dodge. They had the ball at the 6, at the 8, and they end at the 23.
They're gonna go for it, Mike. I mean, a field goal is going to be pretty tough against this wind, I think.
And they are going into the wind here to begin.
And if they don't make it, shoot, you leave Garden City in bad. Well, in mediocre field position.
Dodge is 1 of 9 on 4th down this year. 10:36 to go in a scoreless first. 4th and goal from the +23 with trips left. Single wide out right is Jones. McKee in the gun, takes a knee-high snap. Steps up in the pocket and runs. 15 left hash mark, cuts back right, and takes an extra shot at the 12-yard line, and that's going to be a first down on a late hit by Antoine Davis. So the game is good for 11, which would have been short anyway. He had to get to the end zone, but the automatic first down on a personal foul, this drive will extend again.
I'm not so sure he's not going to be ejected because he led
dove
with
head first.
Yeah.
Going to call targeting.
Yep, that was definitely targeting.
And that's what they're talking about right now, you would have to think. If it's a late hit, it's half the distance, and Antoine Davis stays in the game. If it's targeting, he's out of the game.
It's got to be targeting. I mean, didn't you think, CD?
I think you could call it that way. That looked more dangerous for Davis, though, than anyone else.
Yeah.
And part of that rule is to protect both players. It's not just the offensive player.
Absolutely.
Mark Kinman, Craig Carlson, Devin Simpson, Britton Lyon, Matt Weaver, Rick Boswell, Matt Krause, I should say, and Armando Espinoza, the officiating crew tonight.
After the play was over, with personal foul, targeting on the defense, number 23. Number 23 is ejected from the competition. It will be Garden City's ball. First down.
Oh, dead ball? That's why.
That's right, okay. So Antoine Davis has been ejected, but the Blockbusters finally have the football. I guess that's the positive news. With 10:28 to go in the first quarter, no score.
You know, as much as the offense, Dodge City's offense, it was a train wreck. Garden City's defense was a train wreck, too, on that.
And was there a timeout called?
Neither team knew that the possession changed.
Yeah, so Garden City's defense was still on the field. So with 10:28 to go in a wacky first quarter, there's still no score. So they're assessing that penalty because it was a dead ball penalty. He had not picked up, obviously he needed a touchdown. So now 1st and 10, Garden City moving right to left at their own 6-yard line.
For Dodge City, that turned out like a coffin corner punt.
Wide right goes LeBourne, their leading receiver. It's a jumbo package with Irwin under center. Offset eye right, hand off to Jordan Ford. He runs into his own lineman and goes backwards and into the waiting arms of Slayton Clark, who already has a fumble recovery in this game, and that's a loss of a yard. Jordan Ford bounced off DeMonte DeCore and went backwards about 4 yards. It's 2nd down and 11.
I hate to say this, Michael, but that looked like something the New York Jets would do.
Yeah, the butt fumble. Mark Sanchez. Don't remind me. 10 minutes to go, scoreless first. Garden City's first possession. 2nd down and 11 from their own 5. Offset eye right. The fullback is Damus. The deep back is Ford. Snap, turn right, hand for Ford. Nothing doing. Off of right guard, and he is pushed backwards. Maybe gains a half a yard. Ty Lalogo, the 295-pound sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama, wraps him up chest high. And I don't think he gained anything. Maybe
Mike,
give him a 6. It's now 3rd down and 10.
I'm going to make this comment because I honestly believe that the defense has no respect for his passing ability. They're going to put as many people on that line of scrimmage as they can against our run because they have no respect for Irwin's passing.
Jarman wide right, slot right LeBourne. 2 receivers come left on 3rd and 10, Garden from their own 5. Irwin, helmet high snap, rolls into his end zone to the right. Looks right, throws right up the sideline, and a bobbling catch made near the 20-yard line by Sianu Jarman. And that time working on Tyrell Edwards, the backup defensive back from Irvington, New Jersey. And that picks up 15 on 3rd and 10 and a strike from Irwin.
I think in order for Garden City to loosen up that defense, they're going to have to pass on 1st and 2nd down rather than try to run.
You almost ask yourself, John, where was that catch last week? Jarman had 2 big drops at the end of the 2nd quarter. 1st and 10, Garden from their own 20 now. Shotgun for Irwin with 2 receivers left. They fake the handoff to Ford. Irwin keeps off of right tackle, and he pushes out right hash mark near the 27. And falling On top of him was Tavarian Martin-Scott, who's the number 7 ranked JUCO player, who's already signed with South Carolina. He makes the stop after a gain of 5 at 2nd down and 5. You look at Dodge City, a team that's 1-2. They are not void of talent. But as Ricky Kuhn said, they are short on numbers. 2nd and 5 Garden from their own 26 and a scoreless first. Irwin in the shotgun. Helmet high snap. Hands it for Jordan Ford. Off of right guard. He pushes out near the first down. Right hash mark to the 31. And that tackle made by Brendan Hardy, the sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana. And they do move the chains on a gain of 5. .740 left and a very windy opening quarter here from Blockbuster Stadium. Wide left comes Jarman. Son slot left. LeBourne and Simmons right on 1st and 10 Garden City from their own 31. Irwin in the shotgun takes the snap, hands it for Jordan Ford. Wiggles off of right guard and squeezes out 2, maybe 3 as he pushes the pile and his helmet comes off. Just right of the hash mark at the 35 and twisted down by Jontrell Stewart, who was an honorable mention all-conference selection last year. The freshman, now sophomore from Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. That's a gain of 4, and now it's 2nd down and 6. And Martez Jones has to come in.
There's a flag on the play.
What else is new?
There is a flag on the play.
It's been
Personal foul. Face mask in the defense, number 45. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Hardy's the one that made the tackle, so Ford is allowed to stay in the game because of that call.
Number 6 can remain in the game.
Yeah, there you go. And that puts the Blockbusters near midfield, in fact, right at midfield. 7:16 to go scoreless first. Blockbusters on the move right to left. On the right hash, right on the Blockbuster logo. Irwin in the shotgun, 3 receivers slot left. Hand it off. This is Davion Hodges. Off left tackle. Cuts back right, and he's inside the Dodge 35 down to the 33, getting a block from Austin Simmons. And Jontrell Stewart chops him down after a gain of 17 and a first down.
That was a very well-blocked play.
You know, for everything that happened bad last week, John, the offensive line played well.
I thought they did too. I'll tell you what, if we make a couple catches, we're right in that game last week. But
1st and 10 Garden City at the Dodge 33. Irwin half diamond, 2 receivers right. Otto the tight end left. H-back right is Damus. Helmet high shotgun snap. Irwin looks right and throws right up the seam. He's got Jarman inside the 10 and down to the Dodge City 8. One inside move on Tyrell Edwards, and he picks up 25 at its 1st and goal.
that was a nice looking play. About a 10-yard slant pass. He had inside leverage, and I mean, Irwin hit him right between the numbers.
Irwin 2 for 2, 40 yards. They put it to the 9, 1st and goal from there. Garden City in the red zone so far this year, 22 of 24, 21 touchdowns, 1 field goal. Half diamond for Irwin. LeBourne left, Damus the H-back right. Shotgun snap, handoff for Ford, right up the middle, twisting inside the 5 and maybe maneuver to the 4. But again, it was Stewart falling on top of him, 10 tackles coming in. And they're going to say the 5-yard line gains 4 at 2nd down and goal.
Mike, I got to ask you, where's Xavier Peters?
Out again with the foot injury.
Wow.
So he played the first game, and we haven't seen him since. 2nd and goal, Garden City from the 5. 5.5 to go, scoreless first quarter. Wide left, LeBourne. Half diamond for Irwin. Damus, check that auto in motion right to left. Chest high shotgun snap. Handoff Jordan Ford going left, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Garden City. Jordan Ford goes untouched for a 5-yard rushing touchdown, and the Blockbusters strike first with 5:14 to go in the opening period.
Blocking on the left side was awesome. I mean, each player that was pulling put a block on a white jersey, and Jordan Ford just squirted right through it.
So Dodge had their opportunity in the red zone, could not convert. The Blockbusters meantime take advantage. They go 10 plays, 88 yards. They do it in 5:14. And Joe Carroll's line drive extra point with the win behind him is perfect. 5:14 left first quarter. It's Garden City 7, Dodge City nothing on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilasov here from Brockbuster Stadium. Garden City up 7-0, 5:14 to go here in quarter number 1. Jordan Ford, his 8th rushing touchdown of the season as Marini, the former soccer player, boots this one out of the end zone for another touchback. And Dodge City starts first and 10, moving left to right, John, from their own 25. Back to the touchdown. We've talked about the offensive line the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the one thing that has really gelled in the last 2 weeks, or 2.5 weeks actually, is the offensive line. They started to really get some traction against Independence in the fourth quarter, and since that time, they have been doing a credible job. They did a credible job against Hutchinson. Like I said, if we catch a couple balls against Hutchinson, we're in that game all the way to the very last second.
First and 10 now, Dodge City. Left to right, left hash at their own 25. Jones, Gaines, and Edwards right. Brown is the solo left. McKee in the shotgun with Hall now on his right hip. Garden City with 7 in the box. Play action, they rush 4. Zips one left on a slant, and a tremendous catch by Brown. Working on Darraville left hash at the Dodge 39. That's a strike of 14 yards and a first down.
Got a player hurt. Raymond Cuts down.
That is not good. Cuts just bounced back up.
Injury timeout.
It's Johnson, I think.
It's Darius Johnson. So it will be first and 10 when we resume play. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilasov with 5:10 to go in the first quarter. Johnson was already dealing with a sore foot. In fact, he was going to miss. He hasn't missed a game, but this was about 2 weeks ago. Going into the Highland game, or the Independence game, he was not going to play. And then last second decision, he ended up playing, and he has not missed any time.
Looks like he's going to be okay.
And being helped off by David Jantz, one of the athletic trainers. So now first and 10 for Dodge City. They mark it at their own 38. 7-0 Garden. On the 5-yard rushing touchdown by Jordan Ford. Tristan Jones, the freshman from Birmingham, Alabama, went 712 yards receiving as a senior. He comes wide right, one of 2 receivers right, 2 left with McKee in the shotgun. Blockbuster show blitz. Here they come. McKee stands in, rainbows down the middle. He's got his man. That's Edwards zigzagging his way to the Blockbuster 37. And again, it was Darraville on the coverage for Garden City. Again, no Jonathan Huggins. That picks up 25 and a first down.
Mike, all they're doing is hitting that seam. I mean, they have a lot of success with a slant pattern, getting inside leverage, and then hitting the seam on the opposite side.
And McKee has looked sharp. I know the numbers won't show it. 3 of 9 for 38. He had one ball that was dropped inside the 10 by Brown. First and 10 Dodge City at the Garden City 38, down 7-0 with 4.5 to go first quarter. Trips right, solo receiver left. McKee in the shotgun. Another low snap. Hands for Hall, and surges up the middle, but right into the hands of Sumalo at the 36 between the hash marks. Picks up 2, and it's second down and 8. What's incredible about this first quarter, Dodge City held the ball for the first 5 minutes of the quarter because the Brockbusters fumbled a punt. Ball hit Cameron LeBourne, and Dodge City recovered. Dodge City had 2 chances, 2 first downs off penalties, and couldn't score. Second and 8 now, Dodge from the Brockbuster 36. Jones comes right, 2 receivers left, McKee in the gun. Another low snap, rolls to his right, chased by Malay. keeps it up the numbers, tucks it as he runs back to the left, and he's dragged down by Millay, who's filling in now that Rober spot for Jonathan Huggins, the transfer from Florida. And he's to the 34, just inside the right numbers, picks up 2, and now it's 3rd down and 6.
You know, he doesn't have a lot of speed, but he does a good job as far as being cagey and knowing when to run. And I think before too long, we're going to have to get a spy on him because he could have a critical scramble against us if we don't.
3rd and 6 Dodge from the Garden City 34. Conquistadors 0 for 2 on 3rd down. The Brockbusters in the neutral zone. This is a free play. McKee tosses right, caught by Edwards, turns the corner, and takes a helmet-to-helmet shot that time by Carrick Alexander. But they're going to decline that penalty. That's going to be offsides on Garden City, and this is going to be a 1st down.
Offsides. Defense number 0. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
It's on Raymond Cutts.
It's almost like our defense, their concentration is waning today.
3 minutes to go, first quarter, 7-0 Garden, but Dodge on the move from left to right. It's the 6th play of this drive. They've moved it 49 yards. 2-by-2 for McKee, the 3rd string quarterback in the shotgun. Right foot in front of his left. Takes a shoelace high snap, fires down the middle, deflected and almost intercepted. Furman tipped it, and then Darreville was maybe a yard too deep. Otherwise, he has an easy room service pick at the 4-yard line. It's 2nd down and 10.
I'll tell you what, if we don't drop that linebacker, that's an easy catch. Thank God Furman was there.
Land.
Furman, who redshirted last year, was, as you just pointed out, in perfect position. And I don't think McKee ever saw him.
No.
2nd down and 10. Dodge City on the Blockbuster 26. Less than 3 to go here in the first. 7-0 Garden. Trips to the left. Jones comes right. McKee with Hall on his right hip. Claps his hands, takes a chest-high snap. Play action. Looks right, throws right on a slant. And he hits Jones down to the 10 right hash mark. Carrick Alexander was on the inside shoulder. But the pass was right on the chest and a gain of 16 and a 1st down.
Receiver's getting an inside release, and there's no real jamming going on, so he's got a free release basically. And once he establishes inside position, if we're not dropping a linebacker into that passing lane, hey, it's an easy catch for him.
McKee 4-5 on this drive. 1st and goal, Dodge from the 10. Coming up on 2 to play in the first. Jones goes wide left.
Davis out of the game.
Yep. Remember that because he was ejected because of the targeting. Full house backfield. They hand it for Hall as McKee takes the snap from under center, and he runs just outside the right hash mark. Eli Hill tracks him down at the 8-yard line, gains 2, and it's 2nd down and goal. So this first quarter has been defined by mistakes, penalties. The Brockbusters gave up a free play earlier on this drive.
Dodge City's offenses look good.
Their offensive line has played well.
Yes.
Jones goes left.
So they have kind of a heavy set.
Yeah, they have 2 blocking backs on the right. Solo back is Hall on 2nd and goal from the 8. Play action, McKee rolls left, going to take off and run. At the hash mark 5, cuts back right to the 2. Just outside the left hash mark, and it's Darreville. And now some extracurriculars going on between Shamar Pearl and Bryant Walker, the offensive lineman for Dodge. That moves it to the 2. It's 3rd and goal after a gain of 6.
I'll tell you what, Dodge has come to play. They've smacked Garden right in the face offensively.
Darreville's been busy, by the way. 4 tackles in his first quarter. Final 60 seconds of the first. 3rd and goal, Dodge from the Brockbuster to the 10th play of this drive. Jones comes right. Under center again is McKee. Jumbo package. The deep back is Hall. Garden City crowds the line. Snap, turn left, hand for Hall. Off of left guard. Stood up at the 1 by Raymond Cutts. And he didn't get there. Picks up a yard, no further. Raymond Cutts saves a touchdown with a half-minute to go in the first. And now it's 4th and goal and decision time for Ricky Kuhn, although I don't think this is decision time at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're going up against a ranked team. You're wanting to shove it down their throat. I think you go for it.
Dodge City has lost 15 straight games against top 20 teams. Their last win came over 12th ranked Butler on September 25th, 2016. That was Gary Thomas's team. So now 4th and goal from the 1 with 33 seconds to go in the first. This is a 10-play drive that's covered 74 yards. Dodge again this year on 4th down is 1 of 10.
I think Coach Kuhn went with the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, Mel Dantzler comes in now to replace C.J. Hall. And now the clock runs. They still have to snap the ball before the end of the quarter. Dodge going into the win. They have a 4th and goal just inside the 1 on the left hash, down 7-0. Jones left. Dantzler's the deep back with 2 blocking backs to the right. Jumbo set for Ricky Kuhn's team. McKee, hands for Dantzler, hit at the line and drilled, goes nowhere.
Wow.
Arvell Ferguson and Michael Harris, the transfer from Auburn on the stop. No gain, turnover on downs, the second red zone failure in the first quarter for Dodge City, and the Blockbusters have it back up 7-0 with 9 seconds to go in the first.
That was an incredible defensive stand right there.
Are you surprised, though? You've seen it all year.
We've seen it all year. I mean, we saw it at the first of the year. Didn't know how real it was, but, you know, against Independence and Hutchinson, seeing it like it has been, where I think Hutch was twice down at the 2-yard line with 1st and goal, and they didn't score either time.
Now Garden, who will be going into the wind in the second, has 1st and 10 from their own 1. Irwin under center. Deep in a 1-back set is Ford. Gets the carry in his own end zone. He made it out, and he's pushed back into the end zone, so he does get forward progress to the 1. Tyrell Edwards bends him down and takes him down, and now flags come out afterwards. So no gain. It's 2nd down and 10 as the first quarter has expired. Now we have to sort out all the laundry.
I tell you what, it's getting chippy down there for sure.
Look, Dodge City hasn't played in 3 weeks. They just want to hit somebody.
Yep.
I'm going to sort out all this mess.
Boy, if this is a penalty on Dodge City, wow.
You have them backed up near their own end zone. And we're still waiting for the call before we go to break.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 66. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be 2nd down. That's the end of the first quarter.
That's on Garden City, and that's the end of the first quarter. 1 quarter complete. It's 2nd down and about 10.5 for Garden when we start the second quarter, leading 7-0 on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, Cedar DeSalvo, Mike Pilosov as we start the second quarter here from Blockbuster Stadium. It's 7-0 Garden. They are now going into the wind, which is supposed to die down. Of course, you know, the weather forecast as accurate as ever. Said it's supposed to die down at 7 o'clock. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock, and this wind's still whipping around out of the south. So now second and about 10.5. Garden inside their own 1. The lone score in this game, a 5-yard rushing touchdown by Jordan Ford. Mike Irwin making his second straight start, the transfer from the University of Oregon. Devin Larson out with his shoulder injury.
If I'm Dodge City, I'm going 0 cover, because guess what we're going to do? We're going to run.
Offset eye left, Jordan Ford is the deep back. Irwin drops back to throw, looks right on a slant, and it's caught by LeBourne. What a catch, middle of the field to the 14-yard line, and again, it was Tyrell Edwards who was trailing in coverage that brings him down after a gain of 13 on 2nd down and 10.
That was good play. I mean, they had, Dodge was in a cover one, and we made a good pass and a good catch. It was a great catch, something we didn't see last week for sure.
LeBourne coming into today 11th in the nation in yards. First and 10 Garden from their own 14. 2 by 2, Irwin of the shotgun. Damus trots in motion right to left. Extends the hands, takes the snap, hands it for Ford, who little stutter step move, zigzags right across the 15, hit at the 16 after a gain of 2, and that tackle made by Devin Cowan, the outside linebacker. 15 tackles, had 6 against Coffeyville, a season high. That's a gain of 2. It's 2nd down and 8.
Mike, that hole almost opened up for Ford. Just closed down at the last second.
And that's the famous word over the last 2 weeks from Tom Hennick, almost. Because
Almost,
last week,
yes.
how many almost breakaways did they have?
Yeah.
2nd down and 8, Garden, early second, leading 7-0. They've got it from their own 16. Wide left, Jarman. Slot left, Damus. Simmons and Otto right. Shotgun snap, Irwin. Looks right, throws right, spirals it on the chest of Simmons across the 20 and angled out near the 22.
Good safe pass.
Playing it safe, Trey Harris, the transfer from West Hills College with that knee-high tackle. That gains 8 on 2nd down and 8. And it is enough for a first down.
Nothing else, Mike. We've wedged it out of there, huh?
Yeah, moved it from the 1 out to the 24 now. Garden City going into the win here in the second quarter. The win was the major factor on the road on Sunday. 1st and 10 Garden from their own 24. Irwin, shotgun snap. Hands it for Ford. Stacked up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Dodge City not fooled. Brendan Hardy, who had an offer from K-State in high school, the sophomore from Monroe, Louisiana, brings him down back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, and it's 2nd down and 12. And so far, the running game has basically been hit and miss. And to this point, Dodge 2 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Garden has been outgained 114 to 102. 2nd and 12, Garden City from their own 22. Irwin of the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Damus the H-back left. Dodge shows a blitz. They rush 4. It's a run blitz. Handoff to Ford, hit at the line and wiggles forward to the 27. See if they give him the 27. The knee was down maybe at the 26. Hardy in on the stop along with Quessy Hooks coming up from his safety spot. And they do give him the 26. Gains 4. It's 3rd down and 8. And there's just not a lot of running room here to start this game for Garden City. 12 minutes to go in the second. 7-0 Brockbusters. They've won each of the last 4 meetings between these 2 programs. It's 3rd and 8 Garden from their own 26. Brockbusters 1 for 1 on 3rd down. Solo right is Damus. He goes in motion right to left. Jarman split left with LeBourne. Irwin, that hard snap count. Takes the snap, 4-man pressure. Slides to his left. Chased and sacked back at the 18-yard line by Slayton Clark, who's having a huge first half. Has a fumble recovery, now a sack. That's a loss of 8, and it's 4th and 16, and Garden City short circuits. Gave up 5 sacks in the loss against Hutch last week.
Loss of 7 on the play will bring up 4th down and 15 for the 19-yard line.
And here comes Joe Carroll to punt it away.
Joe Carroll to kick it away for Garden City.
Gaines drops back deep for the Conquistadors. Their lone win on opening weekend where they beat Resolution Prep. That punt nearly blocked. Wobbly spiral. And Gaines calls for a fair catch, makes a running catch right around the Blockbuster 40-yard line. That's a good kick into the wind by Carroll.
Yep.
You can say at the 45-yard line of Garden City. So the punt nets 26, nothing on the return. 10:50 left in the first half. Garden with a 7-0 lead, but Dodge has played well, and their offense is back on the field. Dodge has been in the red zone twice, John, and have failed to score on both instances.
That's why it's so imperative that our offense start getting some traction, because right now, I mean, sooner or later, Dodge is going to punch through.
2 receivers left. Jones goes right. 1st and 10, Dodge City right hash, moving right to left at the Garden 45. McKee with backs on either side. Hands it off to Cam Faison. One of the wideouts was lined up as one of two tailbacks, and he's off of right guard for 2 yards down to the 43 of Garden City. Picks up 2, 2nd down and 8. Michael Harris and Arvell Ferguson combined on that stop for the Bronc-Busters.
Right now, that offensive line is doing a great job. I mean, they're pushing the defensive line back a couple of yards every time.
Saw it on the opening drive. They kind of set the tempo.
Yeah.
2nd and 8, Dodge City. On the right hash to the Garden City 43. Brown wide left, Faison slot left, Jones goes wide right. McKee in the shotgun, claps his hands, takes the snap, looks left, fires left, pass on the money again near the 31-yard line. That's Brown coming back between the hash marks. And again, Johnny beats Darraville for a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Yep. Inside leverage. I mean, it's a simple pitch and catch.
And they're, CD, am I wrong? Are they running the same play? These are just simple in routes, simple slants.
Yeah, we can't stop them.
McKee right now 6 of 13 for 74 yards. 1st and 10, Dodge City at the Garden City 31.
If I'm Coach Kuhn, I keep doing it, man. I mean, we're not stopping it at all.
Jones, Faison, and Edwards go right. Brown comes to the near side left, 2 catches for 25. McKee in the shotgun. On his left hip is Hall, takes the snap, 3-step drop, slips, and is sacked back at the 40-yard line by Sumalo. That was really more on McKee's own doing as he lost his footing. That's a loss of 9 yards, and it's 2nd down and 19.
If we have a flag.
And if they call Sumalo on this, it's a little ridiculous.
I don't think we have a flag.
No flag.
Yeah.
That does go down as a sack.
The Garden's lucky right there because McKee just went down on his own. Just slipped.
I mentioned it earlier. Dodge has lost 15 in a row to top 20 teams. They're down 7-0. They have the ball, 2nd and 19 at the Garden 40 with 9 minutes to go in the half. Jones split right with Edwards. Brown with his 2 catches, tight left, and a slot left is Faison. McKee getting the start today, his first start of the year. With Hall on his right hip, he's in the shotgun. Ankle high snap, 3-step drop, under pressure, uncorks a bomb. He's got Jones in the end zone, and he overshoots him by about 10 yards right down the middle on a post, and it's 3rd and 19.
Once again, Garden City dodges a bullet. Excuse the pun.
Carrick Alexander got absolutely roasted. 3rd and 19. He made Tristan Jones look like an Olympic athlete.
There wasn't anybody within 20 yards of him.
So again, Dodge City facing a 3rd and long, 3rd and 19 from the Garden City 40-yard line. They are 1 of 4 on 3rd down. 2 receivers left and right. They flip it to Faison on a jet sweep right to the right sideline with a flag out, and he dances to the Bronc-Buster 38, and it's Carrick Alexander that shoves him out near the 37. Picks up 3, but this is either a block in the back or a hold.
Yeah.
Which the Bronc-Busters, you would think, would probably decline this. And I say probably because of field position. Dodge City's been their own worst enemy.
They have. I mean, our defense has made a couple of great stops, but I will tell you what, Dodge City has.
Personal foul, block below the waist on the offense, number 10. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
And they're going for it.
Well, they've got the wind at their back.
Yeah.
But you're also facing a 4th and 16. Ball resting at the Bronc-Buster 38. Make it the 37, so 4th and 16 from there. Somebody's trying to call timeout. Might be Ricky Kuhn,
Timeout.
and it is.
Dodge City, they're first for the half.
8:31 to go in the half, 7-0 Garden City. So just to get you caught up to speed on a first half that's been just riddled with mistakes, Dodge City's had 2 chances inside the Bronc-Buster 20, and both times came away with no points. And, you know, just to give some context on that, John, they were going into the win, but They had 2 penalties called against Garden City on that one specific drive after they recovered a fumble by a ball that hit LeBourne on a punt. So they work it inside the 10. They get a targeting call on Davis. They get a defensive holding call in the end zone. They gave them an automatic first down, and they still couldn't score. Meantime, the Brockbusters' lone touchdown on Jordan Ford's 5-yard scamper.
You remember that game against Fort Scott here where Fort Scott had the ball and they kept getting penalized, but they kept getting yardage after they get penalized and they get penalized again? That's exactly what Dodge City did.
Well, and again, keeping things realistic here, Dodge hasn't played in 3 weeks.
No.
And this is something that Ricky Kuhn was afraid of, was just the rhythm, the mistakes, the week 1 mistakes that you normally see.
But I'll tell you what, considering they haven't played for 3 weeks, they haven't looked all that bad. Their offensive line is doing a great job. Defensively, they've shut us down.
Orndorff is actually going to punt this one away now. And LeBourne drops back deep at the 11-yard line for Garden City.
Be noted that he is a quarterback.
Yes, he is.
Garden City's missing a player.
So Garden City has 10 guys on the field. Dodge doesn't recognize it. Little pooch punt to the right. Bounces inside the 15 with the wind blowing it inside the 10 and down at the 9-yard line.
Very nice.
28-yard punt, nothing on the return. 8:22 to go, second quarter, 7-0 Garden City, and they've got the ball back left to right. So the normal punter is Landon Guidry. We have not seen him yet.
I saw that Ornsdorf, he was in pregame punting, and I thought, well, that's kind of unusual to get the quarterback punting. That could pay dividends.
Yeah. They move the ball to the 10. It's first down and 10 from there. First and 10 Garden City from their own 10-yard line. Jarman wide right. LeBourne slot right. Tight end left is Otto. Half diamond. Irwin takes the snap. Hands for Ford. Jitterbugs right. Cuts back left. Squeezes through a hole to the 10. And dragged down there by the outside linebacker Devarian Martin Scott after a pickup of maybe half a yard. It's second down and a long 9 close to 10.
Mike, our run game is non-existent right now.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
And a lot of that is due to the fact that Dodge has no respect for our passing game, just like I said before. And why should they? We don't pass.
Garden City had 294 rushing week 1, 453 week 2, 234 week 3. It's been dismal ever since. Second and 10 from their own 10. Shotgun snap to Irwin. Puts it in the belly of Ford, tries the right side, cuts back left, and is just shoved to the ground. There's just nothing doing, and that's Jelani Davis, the big 6'1" nose guard that pushes him backwards for a loss of a yard. Now it's 3rd and 11.
Mike, it's the same play over and over again. And what they're doing is, I think they're making a call when they see that linebacker coming up for a middle blitz. And that linebacker is just, right now he's inside the head of Irwin because he don't know whether to pass it or whether to hand it off.
3rd and 11 now, Garden from their own 9, leading 7-0 with 7 to play in the half. Jarman split left with LeBourne. Davis and Simmons come right. Shotgun snap, Irwin. 7-man rush. Irwin under pressure. The ball is hit as he throws it to the near side right. Incomplete. That was John Trell Stewart that came from behind, very close to a fumble, coming to the near side of the field, but it's incomplete, and now it's 4th down.
What a hideous set of downs.
So you're saying that's not going to be on Mike Irwin's highlight reel?
No.
Okay. Duly noted.
Well, you can only go to the well so often, and they keep going to the same doggone play on 1st and 2nd down. The element of surprise is not there. Dodge City absolutely knows what we're doing. They're in cover 0 every time. So why don't you switch up things?
How about work the middle of the field? Gaines back to receive this punt, and it almost blocked again. End over end kick. Takes a Brockbuster hop and rolls out to the Garden City 44, and it's touched up there after a 35-yard punt. So Dodge has it back now, 6:45 to go in the half. Dodge trails 7-0, but John, can we both, and maybe even CD, all agree that Dodge has owned this first half?
Absolutely. Dodge is, to me, they're the better team right now.
We're not shy about saying that.
Well, you sit here and Garden City's got all these accolades and everything like that. Dodge City's just been throttled the last 2 games, and they come in here and they are basically slapping Garden City right across the face.
And look, against Butler, they were up 14-0.
Yes.
And then Butler came back, and the rest was kind of history. Butler responded with 42 straight points. First and 10, Dodge City from the Garden City 45, down 7-0, but again starting on the plus side of midfield with trips left, and McKee in the shotgun. Snap, hands it for Mel Dancer right up the middle, huge hole, breaking tackles, pinballs off of 2 defenders, and he's pushing the pile down to the 30-yard line. Did the ball come out? It did. The ball comes out, the Broncbusters recover it, and there was no whistle. It's Chris Smith that comes up with the fumble recovery, and the Broncbusters have it back at their own 30-yard line.
That's a huge play.
Mel Dancer kept pushing the pile. They never blew it dead, and it's Smith that comes out of there.
Kuhn just got an unsportsmanlike. I'll tell you what, if you're Kuhn, it's an argument you're not going to win, because if they don't blow the whistle, you know, you're going to end up with something like this. And if they do blow the whistle, they blew it too quick. So,
remember, in the first game of the year, Smith had that 30-yard scoop and score against Arkansas Baptist, and now 6:32 to go in the half. Broncbusters have it back, and you're going to be able to tack on 15 more now.
After the play, sportsmanlike conduct on the Dodge City coach. There'll be 15 yards. First down, Garden.
If I'm Ricky Kuhn, I'm not as upset about that specific call as I am of how many missed opportunities the Conquistadors have had in this first half.
They have. I'll tell you, by all intents and purposes, they should be up 14-7 right now.
It's 7-0 Garden, and the Broncbusters have it back, moving left to right. Garden City has all 3 timeouts.
Ball to the 42-yard line of the Broncbusters. First down and 10.
First and 10 for Mike Irwin and company.
What do you want to bet they run?
Half diamond for Irwin. Behind him is Jordan Ford. He has struggled to get going so far. Helmet high snap. Give it for Ford. Up the middle. Hit at the line. Falls forward across the 45. Left hash mark near the 47. And once again tracked down by the South Carolina commit, Tavarian Martin Scott, who had 8 tackles, including a half for loss coming in. That picks up about 5.5, close to 6. It's second down and a long 4, close to 5.
Boy, there's a lot of yakking down there.
You've seen that all the time. Now here's more. Words being exchanged. Referee's trying to get this under control. And flags all over the place.
I'll tell you what, Dodge City's talking a lot of trash, and they're just trying to get in our head. That's all they're doing.
And they're winning right now.
Yeah, they're winning it.
They're not winning on the scoreboard, but they're winning with another penalty.
I have a funny feeling this is going to be offsetting.
Garden City's already had 1 player rejected, Antoine Davis, for targeting. So the way that works now, they changed the rule a couple of years ago where targeting, you automatically miss the next game. Well, now Davis will miss all of this game in the first quarter of the next game.
Right.
So he can come back in the second quarter in 2 weeks against Coffeyville.
And I hope he learns not to ever do that again, because you know what? Not only is he risking the person he's hitting's health, but also he's risking his own health.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you telescope that neck, and I mean, you could be looking at a serious injury, neck injury.
John, I think these flags are on Garden City, and did somebody just get ejected? What are you hearing, CD?
I have no idea. They were over on the Dodge City sideline the whole time.
Dodge City's sideline is fired up. For a team that's 1-12, it hasn't beaten a ranked team in 5 years. Now Garden City's sideline doing the same thing. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on here.
I'll tell you what, this is getting heated right now.
Massively.
Yeah.
You've got our strength coach, Alex Huddleston, who's trying to keep guys on the sideline.
He's showing why he's a strength coach.
Yes. Well, if you ever needed extra motivation after losing to the #1 team in the country, just put your rival in front of you. But because this is taking so long, and Tom Minnick has his arms in the air in frustration,
I think it's on us.
Well, and I'm almost thinking somebody got ejected.
After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams.
Okay.
All players now have an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Number 66 for Garden City, That is his second unsportsmanlike conduct. He is ejected from the ball game. Those penalties will offset. It'll be second down.
Who did they just kick out?
66.
Decor.
Decor. Why that?
No, that's Balaganai.
Why did they kick? I didn't know he had an unsportsmanlike. He must have got it on the in the first quarter.
Well, and Tom Minnick is addressing his team now. So because that was a post-play penalty and it's offsetting, the down should count, and it should be second down and 4. But Tom Minnick is reading the riot act to his team right now. Second and 4.
Basically telling his team they're
CD, say that again.
They're basically telling his team they're getting baited out there.
Yep.
And they're falling right into the trap.
Yep.
6:09 to go, second quarter, 7-0 Garden City. They've got it back second and 4 from their own 48 following that fumble recovery by Chris Smith. So Basa Balaganai kicked out of this game. So that means, see who they put in to replace him now. I believe that is Dave DeSam Sapa. Second and 4 Garden at their own 48. Half diamond for Irwin. Otto in motion left to right. Snap to Irwin. Hands for Ford. Gets a block from Otto on the edge, but is swallowed up near the 48-yard line inside the right numbers. Not much running room once again. It was Tyquan Hayes, the freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina, who was a prep all-star selection. As a senior in high school, no gain, it's 3rd and 4.
Again, Dodge City, I mean, they have no respect for the pass. They're going to load that box every time.
This has been a very conservatively called game by Mike Orthman.
You know what? If you got a matchup man-to-man on the outside, why are you not running crossing patterns?
There's not one safety on the field or in the middle of the field for Dodge.
Cover 0, man. It's
3rd and 4 Garden from their own 48. Irwin on the shotgun, slot left with 3 receivers, fires right, incomplete on a drag pattern right to left to Simmons at the Dodge 45 right hash. And it's broken up by Trey Harris. So now it's 4th down and 4, and that was as ugly as it gets, and the Brockbusters set to punt.
And that's a victory for Dodge City, momentum-wise and everything. They just said, hey, you talk trash, we talk trash, but we're better at it, and we can get inside your head. And they just got inside our head.
Look, Dodge City, 5 out of the last 8 years, their defense has finished in the bottom 20. They have not been good against the run. But today, never mind everything else, their run defense has stuffed the Brockbusters thus far. 17 carries for 44. Carroll gets this one up into the wind. Fair catch signaled for and made by Gaines around his own 25-yard line. And that's where Dodge City starts their next offensive possession after a punt of 27. Nothing on the return. 5:06 to go in the half. 7-0 Garden City. But this first half seems like Dodge City should be in front.
Oh, I
They
think
just killed themselves with all these mistakes.
I think they ought to be up 17-7 right now.
First and 10 Dodge City, moving right to left as the sun sets, going south to north from their own 27. McKee, the 3rd string quarterback. First 3 games, it was a combination of Jace Orndorff and Kobe Koppel. And McKee, the 3rd different quarterback taking snaps for Ricky Kuhn's team, who has not played in 3 weeks. Had the off week after Butler. The Fort Scott game was canceled. And here they are, only down 7-0 to the 6th ranked team of the country, trying to snap a 15-game losing streak to ranked opponents. Lights are on at Brockbuster Stadium. And they are getting fired up. First and 10 Dodge from their own 27. 2 receivers tight left. Jones goes right. The snap is on the ground. McKee picks it up. Rolls to his left, directing traffic. Goes back right. Chased by Smith. Throws on the run. Pass is caught. Spinning out of that one was Edwards. His helmet came off. It was actually, that was Chris Smith that pushed him out. I don't know who ripped his helmet off. And this might be a face mask against Garden City.
It is.
Right now the gain is good for 8 yards, but you can tack on another 15. The pressure that time was actually from Cameron Johnson for Garden City.
And Cutts is hurt.
it seems like every other play there's been a penalty. Dodge City coming into today has lost 12 straight games to NJCAA teams. Their last win, November 10th, 2018 over Fort Scott.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
That's got to be on Smith.
Yeah, it was a blatant face mask, too. I mean, you can kill somebody like that. I don't know why you're doing that.
Going to move the ball out near midfield now. 4:54 to go in the second quarter with Tom Minnick saying, let's just get to the half.
Tell you what, Dodge City has completely dominated this game except for the scoreboard.
Still 7-0 Garden. But the Blockbusters now watching Dodge move the ball out near midfield. 1st and 10, Dodge on their own 47. Deontay Rarick, 6'2 sophomore receiver in. One of two receivers to the left. Two wideouts right. Low shotgun snap. McKee looks right, throws right on the shoulder that time of Jones, who's immediately hit by Alexander at the Blockbuster 46. That gains about 9, maybe about 8.5. So it's 2nd down and 2. And these short routes.
It's neutralizing our rush.
2nd down and 2, Dodge from the Garden City 45. McKee in the shotgun. Rarick split left with Gaines. Jones goes wide right. Shotgun snap. McKee looks left under pressure. Just flips the ball down the left sideline. Jump ball, and Rarick's got it. 10-5 touchdown. That was a pop fly pass. Rarick locates it. Now the other official comes in and said he stepped out. But Zay Roberson was the one in coverage. He got twisted around. As it stands right now, they're going to put the ball at the 2, and it's 1st and goal.
Great play. Great play. Nice throw. Good catch.
Roberson couldn't find the ball.
Well, here's the deal, Michael. They had a safety blitz. We had a safety blitz, and the safety didn't get there. And so we had no help over the top on that.
1st and goal from the 2. 7-0 Garden City. So the only reason that's not a score is because Rarick stepped out of bounds, or at least was shoved out by Roberson. And Jerry Dominguez's defense, we've seen it. They've bent so far this season. They have not broken. The offense has put them in a bad situation for most of the last 3 games.
Yep. I would lay this on the offense and the special teams.
And penalties.
Yep.
1st and goal, Dodge City from the 2. Less than 4 to go in the half. 7-0 Garden City.
There is no timeout charged to Dodge City. Please reset the play clock to 25. Start it on my signal. Start the game clock as well.
Jones and Fan go to the far side right. Brown comes to the near side left. Matched up with Darreville, who's had a really tough first half. 1st and goal, Dodge from the Garden City 2, moving right to left, left hash. And how about McKee? 9 of 17, 130 yards in this first half. Looking to punch it in.
Oh, he's absolutely played great.
McKee in the shotgun, Hall on his right hip. Gaines on his left. They motion Gaines out. Shotgun snap, handed for Hall, hit at the line, twisting towards the goal line. Did he get in? Yes, touchdown. C.J. Hall, his 4th of the season, and Dodge City finally converts a red zone opportunity, and they pulled it within 1 late in the second quarter.
Mike, you can only ask your defense to do so much. Sooner or later, your offense has to ante up, and right now, the last 3 weeks, our offense has not anteed up at all. I mean, they have put our defense in a tough position each and every game.
Guidry on for the extra point for Dodge City. Multi-sport athlete in high school. Snap back, placement good. The line drive kick is right down the middle. So Dodge ties the game on a 4-play, 73-yard drive that was aided by the 43-yard pass play McKee to Derrick that sets up the 2-yard rushing touchdown. 3:29 to go in the half, all even at 7 on 99.9 The Rock. This has not been a very good first half from Tom Minnick's team. 3:29 to go here in the first half. Brockbusters and Conquistadors tied at 7. Line drive kick fumbled into the end zone by Davion Hodges. Picks it up, is going to run it out. Left hash mark 5. He doesn't even get back to the 10. Taken down at the 9-yard line by Calvon Harris, one of the backup running backs. They give him the 10. That was disastrous. And now Garden City starts on their own 10.
You have a chance to have first down and 25 from the 25, or you go and try to run it out after you fumbled it in the end zone.
Why?
Michael, I am telling you, our offense and special teams are killing us right now.
Now Garden first and 10 from their own 10. Brockbusters all 3 timeouts going into the win, and they have played this one very conservative. Dodge City has outgained them in the first half, 195 to 104. Jarman with a couple of catches goes wide left. LeBourne and Jalen Williams right. Irwin in the shotgun. Damus in motion from left to right. Helmet high snap. Give it for Ford off the left side and swallowed up again. Behind the line of scrimmage, it was Kevontae Fanning, the number 91 ranked player in Georgia coming out of high school at offers from Jacksonville State and Southeastern Missouri. I think he beat Ford to the spot before Ford even got the ball. It's a loss of 2. It's 2nd down and 12.
This is ready to blow up in our face, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Dodge City's lost 15 straight games to ranked opponents. 2nd and 12 Garden from their own 8. 7-7 the score. 2:50 left, second quarter. Williams, the one-time Indiana commit, wide right. LeBourne slot right, wide left, Jarman. Shotgun for Irwin with an H-back right. Chest high snap, designed rollout to the right. All kinds of time, throws on the run, off the fingertips of LeBourne at the 20-yard line, right sideline. And that was an inaccurate throw. And in coverage for Dodge City that time was Devin Wilson, the 5'11 freshman from Amity, Louisiana. Now 3rd down and 12.
I'll tell you what, that decision to run the ball out of the end zone might allow Dodge City to score before the half.
Yeah, Dodge has 2 timeouts, and also Dodge has the wind behind them.
Yeah.
Now, the wind isn't as significant as it was at Hutch,
last week, yeah.
But it's still there.
Yep.
3rd and 12 Garden from their own 8-yard line. 1 of 4, the Brockbusters on 3rd down. 2 receivers right. Jarman goes left. Damus tip-tap motion left to right. Dodge with 7 near the line. They come in a 4-man twist. Irwin well protected. Slings one left, and it's caught by Sianu Jarman across the 20 near the 25-yard line. Tackled immediately by Trey Harris, waist high. They give him the 24. It's a gain of 16 on a strike from Irwin.
I think the only reason that was complete was because that offensive line really did a good job protecting Irwin.
They have not done a good job run blocking, however.
No. Been hideous.
Irwin 5 of 8 for 76 yards. Has been sacked once. He was dropped 5 times last week. 2:11 to go, second quarter, tied at 7. It's Garden City ball, dressed in the all gold on their own 24, 1st and 10. Shotgun set for Irwin. 2 receivers left and right. Takes the snap, 3-step drop. Wants it all. Down the left sideline for Jarman. He's got it. What a catch at the Dodge City 37 as he twists Trey Harris around. And what a throw. Dropping it in there, a dime from Irwin. That's a 39-yard pickup and move the chains.
Against the wind.
You can't say Irwin can't throw the ball.
Yeah. He can spin it pretty good.
Irwin's issue comes trying to look off defenders. 1st and 10 Garden from the Dodge City 37. Irwin throws one right. That's caught by Williams down to the 32. Twisted out of bounds once again by Wilson after a gain of 5. It's 2nd down and 5.
Good thing is he got out of bounds there.
Stops the clock.
Yep.
Irwin has been accurate here in the first half. That was not the case last week. They threw it 48 times. They were 22 of 48. There's no way on planet Earth that Mike Orthman said, hey, by the way, guys, against Hutch, we're going to drop back 48 times.
You know, the bad thing about it is when he was on target, they would drop the ball.
2nd and 5 Garden from the Dodge 32. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Irwin, chest high shotgun snap, drops back, 3-step drop, looks right, fires a pellet right to the sideline.
How can that not be interference?
At the 15-yard line, Simmons was being basically ridden down by Jalen Armwood. This will be pass interference.
And you're going to flag at the line of scrimmage.
That might be a late hit.
Yep.
At least according to Bryce Damus. tell you, again, first half, I want to say at least every 2 plays there's been penalties. Referees huddle again. 1:32 left in the half. 7-7 the score. Jordan Ford, a 5-yard rushing touchdown for Garden. C.J. Hall
2 fouls on
in
the
from
play.
a couple yards out for Dodge.
Personal foul. Hands in the face on the defense, number 95. Pass interference on the defense, number 21. Only one of those penalties will be enforced 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
That moves Garden City into the red zone now at the 17.
Mike, I keep doing what you're doing. I would not sit here and cave in and run.
Timeout called, I believe, by Garden City.
Timeout, Dodge City.
No, Dodge
Their
calls a
second charge
timeout.
of the half.
Interesting, with 1:32 remaining. So just to get you caught up again, the first half, penalties, mistakes. Dodge City got the ball first. They picked up 1 first down and then punted. Well, the punt hit Cameron LeBourne, and the Conquistadors recovered. So this is what's gone wrong for Dodge City in the first half. Dodge had 2 cracks inside the red zone, inside the 10 on the 1 possession. They had an automatic first down on a pass interference or a defensive holding call on Antoine Davis, and then Davis was kicked out of the game for a targeting, both on that possession, and Dodge never scored. Meantime, the Brockbusters, on their first official possession, drove the length of the field. They went 10 plays, 88 yards in 5 minutes and 14 seconds and capped it off with Jordan Ford's touchdown. That's really the only offense they've provided in this first half until now. Meantime, Dodge, who's had so many red zone failures in this game alone, finally broke through the last time they had the ball, marching 73 yards in 4 plays, aided by a 43-yard pass play between McKee and Derrick, and then it was capped off by C.J. Hall. The Brockbusters now have it back, looking to go back on top. 5 plays, they've moved it 73 yards. They have a 1st and 10 inside the Dodge City red zone at the 17. They have all 3 timeouts and 90 seconds to go in the half. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Davis in motion right to left. Chest high shotgun snap. Irwin looks right, comes back left, spirals one to Williams. He's got it at the 10 as he zigzags back right to the 8. Hit there by Martin Scott, the outside linebacker, gains 9. It's 2nd down and 1. And quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Irwin spikes the ball, and I'm not exactly sure why he did that. Could you explain that one to me, please?
Pass complete to Jalen Williams.
I got nothing.
Dead silence from the crew.
There's no way they told him to clock it.
No, and you could hear him on the mic. He said, I thought you told me to clock it. With 1:13 to go?
Just wasted it down.
Remember that scene in Major League where he kept pointing Willie Mays Hayes that was going to hit a home run like Babe Ruth? And he kept hitting a fly ball. So finally, the announcer goes, Bob Euchre says, well, maybe he's pointing at the left fielder. That kind of reminds me, just like, what the hell are you doing?
I honest to God didn't think anything would trump that 4th down clock, but that came pretty close.
That was dangerously close. Why? So now you just wasted it down, and now a timeout was called by Garden City with 1:13 to go. I can understand if you're, first of all, even if you didn't have a timeout, you had so much time left. It's inexplicable that Irwin just killed the ball.
And it's 2nd and 1.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
But if you
get a 1st down, the clock stops.
If you picked it up on the mic, Mike Irwin said, I thought you told me to clock it. Well, who's they? This coaching staff is as good as it gets. There's nobody on that sideline that told him to spike the ball.
And judging from their reaction after it happened, it doesn't seem like any of them told him to.
Well, the only way Irwin can make up for it now is you gotta get in the end zone now.
All I know is there's nothing I can say.
John Ford took his headset and threw them down. We had all kinds of sound effects going there. So now 3rd and 1 Garden at the Dodge City 8 with 1:13 left in the half. Tied at 7. Irwin in the shotgun, Ford on his right hip, 2 receivers right, Jalen Williams left. Irwin takes the snap, 3-step drop, looks on a slant. He's got Williams in the end zone. Did he hang on? No. Touchdown. No, he dropped the ball.
Corner knocked it out of the hands.
At the last second. And was that Slayton Clark again?
Yes.
4th and 1. So it should be 3rd down, but it's 4th down because of the clocked ball. And now you have to kick a field goal into the wind, which is 25 yards out on the left hash for Carroll. Out of the hold of Jazz Dominguez. Snap back, placement good, kick on the way. Right to the teeth of the wind, and that's good. But that's a win for Dodge City. 1:04 left, second quarter. It's 10-7 Garden City on 99.9 The Rock. And before we go,
somebody got an unsportsmanlike.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get tossed here.
Before we go, let's sort this out.
Somebody's going to get tossed.
From second.
The try is good. After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 99. That is his second unsportsmanlike of the game. He is ejected from the ball game.
Devontae Fanning is the one that just got kicked out for Dodge City. 1:04 left in the half. It's Dodge City ball when we come back, at least the kickoff when we come back. 10-7 Garden City on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, City DeSalvo, Mike Pilosop. Brockbusters will kick off from midfield up 10-7, so this ball likely, even with the wind, we figure it goes out of the back of the end zone.
Willie Gaines back to return for Dodge City.
Gaines back deep to receive the Marini kick. 10-7 Brockbusters following the 25-yard field goal by Joe Carroll. And it's a squib, and it's fielded by Brown on his side of the 29, and another flag comes out. Why not? It's laundry day here at Brockbuster Stadium. Is this a late hit on Garden City?
It's probably unsportsman. Probably
remember,
another one.
Everybody on Garden City has an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so whoever that's on, he's gone.
Yeah. Or it's on Dodge City. Same predicament.
The referee set the tempo by saying, look, everybody has an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so now it's just basically a battle of attrition.
We could have the managers playing by the end of the game.
I mean, you're not far off. And an offensive lineman already kicked out for Garden City.
2 fouls on the play. After the play was over, we have unsportsmanlike conduct on Dodge City, number 80. Garden City, number 12. Those are their second unsportsmanlike conduct for the game. They are both ejected. Those penalties offset. First down.
Sean Smith for Garden is out, and Deontay Rarick, who had that big catch on the scoring drive, he's heading to the showers. 1:04 left in the half. Dodge down 10-7.
You know, it's not a bad move by the referee to do that. I mean, the kids need to settle down and play football. That's what they need to do.
You'd figure that would incentivize you, not.
Yeah. You can still play with enthusiasm and not be a cheap shot artist, you know?
You know, it's funny when you talk about rivalries because a lot of these guys, at the high school, you grow up playing against each other, right? So it's more heated.
Yeah.
You play in junior high, and that's the story. But when you put these two teams together, I get it's 50 miles is separated, but every year there's such turnover in junior college that you can't necessarily say it's even up close to what it is at the high school, yet these two teams are playing like it's the Red Sox and the Yankees. I mean, just beating the bejesus out of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a good, hard football game that they're fighting right now, but I'll tell you what, you got to do it within the confines of the whistle and the rules, man, and they're not doing it.
Now you sound like Ed Hockley.
I know.
And I'm not sure what they're sorting out
four
here.
total now?
4 unsportsmanlikes?
Well, players that have been ejected.
Yeah, so let's count them. Antoine Davis, there's 1 for Garden. Sean Smith for Garden. Basa Bulaganai for Garden. And now, yeah, you're right. And Rarick for Dodge.
That's 5.
Yep. First and 10, Dodge City from their own 30. They have 1 timeout, down 10-7 with 1:04 left in the half, and McKee in the shotgun. Bell tie snap, hands it for C.J. Hall, running right, twisting back left, sheds a tackle. And he's out across the 35, stood up at the 38-yard line on the right hash. After a gain of about 8. Chris Smith helping impede his progress. 2nd down and 2.
Their offensive line is blowing holes in that defense. They're doing a great job.
Quickly back to the line with 40 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 2, Dodge from their own 38. Gain slot left. Wide right, Jones. Jones in the first half has been targeted 3 times, does not have a catch. Wide left is Brown. And Dodge in no hurry with 20 seconds to go in the half. McKee in the shotgun. Snap. Hands for Hall, dancing off left guard, cuts back right. Raymond Cuts tries to drag him down. Instead, Hall drags Cuts all the way out to the 44 right hash. That picks up 6 and a Dodge first down. So the clock stops now to move the chains, but Dodge, you would think, is just going to run the clock out.
I can see how C.J. Hall had 217 yards against Butler now.
He didn't start the first game. Dantzler started the first game, and then when he blew up against Butler. But Dodge couldn't do anything against Coffeyville.
That offensive line.
Hall with 9 carries for 52. And that will do it for the second quarter. I'm interested to see what Tom Minnick has to say to C.D. DeSalvo here in a second, because he's right now directing his players to get the hell off the field.
Well, look at number 7 for Dodge City. He's over there inciting everybody. He ought to get a flag.
And why there wasn't a flag
Yeah,
thrown,
that is ridiculous. That's unsportsmanlike conduct right there.
he should be kicked out of the game.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. He's over in Garden City's huddle talking stuff.
You got Colin Lamb, the assistant athletic director, who's been playing security guard. And now C.D. DeSalvo is standing by with head coach Tom Minnick.
Coach Minnick, offensively, running game has struggled to get going. How do you get that corrected in the second half?
It's got a block. I mean, we're job. They got 3 big dudes in the middle, and it's hurting us right now.
Game's getting kind of a little bit out of control in that first half. How did both teams get settled down in the second and play clean football?
The reason it's all crazy now because the referees let it get that way. You can't let it's the same thing as last week. They let it get that way at the end, and people talking, throw the dang flags. I told them, I said, throw the flags. I got no problem with it. But you got to make sure that you have control over the game. And finally, there's a control, but now you're kicking players out. So, I mean, that it is what it is. I agree. I totally agree. But have control of the dang game when you get here.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
I mean, couldn't said it any better. I'm serious, and you kind of made a joke about this, but, John, you're not too far off when you say that the trainers might be playing in the second half.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. You just need to play football. Play good, hard football. You can do it within the confines of the rules and the whistle.
We have reached the intermission. And for Tom Minnick and for Ricky Kuhn, how many we had 5 ejections in that first half. 10-7 Garden City leads at the break on 99.9 The Rock. First and 10, Garden City at the Dodge 33.
Here we go.
Irwin half diamond, two receivers right.
Left inside is Mike.
Otto, the tight end left. H-back right is Damus. Helmet high shotgun snap. Irwin looks right and throws right up the seam. He's got Jarman inside the 10 and down to the Dodge City 8. One inside move on Tyrell Edwards, and he picks up 25 and it's first and goal. Irwin made some nice throws in that first half. That was one on the Brockbusters' first drive of the game that eventually set up Jordan Ford's 5-yard rushing touchdown. But besides that, and the drive where they kicked the field goal, Garden City's offense has not done much. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff back on the Morton's halftime report. Let's take a look at your first half game recap, and it's brought to you by Garden City Community College. First possession of the game for Dodge. It's significant for this reason. They picked up a first down and then punted the ball away. On the punt, Cameron LeBourne, who has been really good in the first 5 games for Garden City, let the ball hit him. He was in traffic, he was near it, and he never got away from it, and it glanced off his lower body, and Slayton Clark recovered for Dodge City. But the Conquistadors were their own worst enemy on this drive, because C.J. Hall runs for 16 down to the 12, then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Brockbusters moved it to the 6. Then it was 3rd and goal from the 16. Davis was flagged for pass interference in the end zone. Actually, they call it a hold. It was holding on Davis, so that put the ball at the 8, and it was 1st and goal again. But Dodge couldn't get out of their own way. They had a false start, put it back to the 13. Then on 2nd down and goal, McKee was sacked by Raymond Cutts back at the 23. On 3rd down, an incomplete pass. Then on 4th down, after the 4th down play, is when Antoine Davis came in and hit the scrambling McKee late, and a personal foul. So that was a targeting call, and it kicked Davis out of the game. All of that on one possession, and still no score. But the Brockbusters finally got the ball, their first possession of the game, and they marched 88 yards in 10 plays. We already played the highlight, Irwin hitting Jarman for 24. Jordan Ford also had a 17-yard run on that possession as well. Then on 2nd and goal from the 5, Jordan Ford finding pay dirt, putting the Brockbusters on top. 2nd and goal, Garden City from the 5. 5.5 to go, scoreless first quarter.
Hey, yeah, 87.
Wide left, LeBourne. Half diamond for Irwin. Damus, check that auto in motion right to left. Chest high shotgun snap. Handoff Jordan Ford going left, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Garden City. Jordan Ford goes untouched for a 5-yard rushing touchdown, and the Brockbusters strike first with 5:14 to go in the opening period. Extra point good. Brockbusters up 7-0 at that point with a little over 5 and some change to play in the first quarter, but that was really the gist of what they did offensively. Dodge just kept shooting themselves in the foot the entire first half. The next possession, Dodge marches from their own 25. They get a 24-yard hookup between McKee and Edwards, a 16-yard pass completion between McKee and Edwards, and they had 1st and goal from the 10. Hall runs for 2, McKee for 6. Then on 3rd and goal, it's Hall for a yard. Raymond Cutts filled the hole. Then on 4th down and goal, Arvell Ferguson getting some help from Michael Harris, the transfer from Auburn, and they shut down the backup tailback, Mel Dantzler, for no gain. So the Brockbusters get it back on the turnover on downs. And if you're Ricky Kuhn and you see that you have the ball at the 1-yard line, you don't score, that's 2 trips in the red zone, 2 failures for Dodge City. Second quarter, Brockbusters punt after picking up 2 first downs on their first possession. The Brockbusters had a 3-and-out, and they just kind of was playing Russian roulette. Because when Dodge City got the football back at their own 27, they went to work, and facing a 2nd and 2 at the Garden City 45. This pass play between McKee and Rarick, just a jump ball down the left sideline. And the catch made by Rarick. Initially, I thought he scored. They said he stepped out of bounds at the 2. Very next play, it's C.J. Hall to the house. A 2-yard rushing touchdown to tie the game at 7. The Brockbusters came back on the next possession. Maybe the best throw of the game, as Irwin on 1st and 10 from his own 24 hits Jarman up the left sideline for 39. and a first down. 2 plays later, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Dodge moved the ball to the 17. They get a first down, 9-yard completion between Irwin and Williams, and then inexplicably Irwin spikes the ball with 1:13 left in the half. I mean, you can't make that up. You could try. Nobody's going to believe you. Then on 3rd down, Brockbusters not able to pick up a first down. They eventually kick a 25-yard field goal. Take a 10-7 lead. That's where we stand at the intermission. 10-7 Garden City in a wild first half filled with penalties, ejections. Come back, get your first half numbers on the other side on 99.9 The Rock. Back at Brockbuster Stadium alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSavo, Mike Pilosov. The Brockbusters lead the Conquistadors 10-7 at the half as we get your first half numbers brought to you by Keller Leopold. Brockbusters had 10 first downs, Dodge City had 10. Total yards, Garden City 171, Dodge City 208. Brockbusters 129 through the air, Dodge City 130. Brockbusters 18 carries for a minuscule 42 yards. Dodge City 19 for 78. Each team lost a fumble in that first half. Brockbusters absorbed 2 sacks. Dodge City had 2 sacks as well. Penalties, Garden City 6 for 51. Dodge 6 of 64. Third downs, Brockbusters 2 for 5. And the Conquistadors 1 for 5. Time of possession, Garden City 15:01. Dodge City 14:59. Individually, Mike Irwin 8 of 12, 129 yards. Threw the ball well for the most part and had pretty decent protection. Ford 16 carries for 44. Sianu Jarman had 4 catches for 94. Jalen Williams 2 catches for 14. Cameron LeBourne had 1 catch over the middle in traffic for 13. Simmons 1 catch for 8. Defensively, the Brockbusters led by Elijah Darrafeld, 5 tackles, but he was beaten several times. Chris Smith had 4, including a fumble recovery. Carrick Alexander had 4 as well. For Dodge City, Rashad McKee, 9 of 17, 130 yards in the first half, was sacked a couple of times. C.J. Hall, 9 carries for 52 and a touchdown. Mel Dantzler, 2 carries for 15. Tyjavian Edwards had 5 catches for 61. Donovan Brown, 2 for 25. And Deontay Rarick, who doesn't have to worry about the second half because he got a nice cold shower, was kicked out in the second quarter, had 1 catch for 43 that set up that C.J. Hall rushing touchdown. Conquistadors led by Brendan Hardy's 4 tackles. Tavarian Martin Scott also had 4. Thaddeus Harris had 3. And a pass breakup. 10-7, Garden City leads at the intermission. Take a break. When we come back, we'll ask John Ford what he wants to see from Garden City in the second half. How about not UFC 112 on 99.9 The Rock? Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSavo, Mike Pilosov back at Brockbuster Stadium. This has been a wild, wild game filled with mistakes, penalties, ejections, and the Brockbusters will get the ball to begin the third quarter. And before we start the second half, John, what do you want to see from Garden City?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see a football game. Second of all, I'd like to see us, since they don't have any respect for our passing, I'd like to see us use a couple of crossing patterns, rub routes, whatever, especially when they're in that cover zero, because I'll tell you, somebody's going to break open, either down the side or up the middle, and we don't do that. I'd like to see us start passing on first down. Maybe that will be a little bit of a key to us having a successful run game on second and third down. But right now, we're so predictable. It gets frustrating up here watching them have 11 people in the box, and we don't do anything to adjust.
By the way, apparently Garden City deferred both halves because Dodge gets the football to begin here in the third quarter. And that's because of the wind. So Marini has it on the tee. Dodge gets the football first to begin the second half. Of course, this year they implemented the rule where there's no actual coin toss. They do that before the game. Lights are on. Sun has set here at Blockbuster Stadium. And Marini boots this out of the back of the end zone, and Dodge starts 1st and 10, moving left to right down 10-7 to begin the third from their own 25.
I'd also like to see when Dodge talks trash to us that it falls upon deaf ears and we just play.
I would second that.
I mean, they're just baiting us.
But credit, I mean, whatever strategy they came in with, which I'm sure wasn't necessarily just around that, but it's worked.
Yeah, it's been a great game plan. Can't argue with it.
Dodge City 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line, moving left to right. McKee in the shotgun with 3 receivers, right, 1 left. Dodge City with a 4-man front. Hand it off to Hall, coming right. Zigzags left across the 30 and is sandwiched right hash at the 31. Christian Furman getting some help from Malay on the tackle after a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down and 4. Furman, one of the leading tacklers.
I'll tell you what, they have been extremely successful with that run. I would keep doing it until Garden stops you.
Especially on 1st down. 3 receivers left, 1 right, 2nd and 4 Dodge from their own 31. Play action McKee avoids the rush, takes off and runs, angles right to the sideline and is hit with a helmet to his back by Carrick Alexander at the Dodge City 35. He picks up 4 and he's right at the sticks.
1st down.
And they did give him the 1st down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we've had a hard time containing quarterback, and we've had a hard time containing Hall.
Dodge is averaging 5 yards per play on 1st down alone in this game. 1st and 10 from their own 35 for Dodge. Their opening drive of the 3rd, down 10-7. Trips to the left, single wide out, Jones right. McKee takes the shotgun snap, 4-man rush, rifles one up the seam. That was there, and it's incomplete. At the Garden City 40, Brown had beaten 2 defenders, including Darraville, and try to make a sliding grab just inside the numbers. It's now 2nd down and 10. Brown had a drop in the red zone earlier in this game.
2nd and 10 for the 35-yard line.
2nd and 10 for Dodge City. McKee, 9 of 18, 130 yards. They have it at their own 35 on the right hash, moving left to right. Jones, one of 2 receivers right, 2 left. McKee in the shotgun with Hall on his right hip. It's a trap handoff to Hall. Finds running room up the middle. Breaking tackles midfield. Bouncing left to the numbers 40, 30, 25. Chased by Alexander. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. C.J. Hall, 65 yards to the house. He had 200 yards rushing against Butler. Now you kind of figure out why. 13-10 Dodge. They have the lead early in the 3rd.
That's why you keep going to him, because Carden can't stop him. I'll tell you what, Dodge City looks like the ranked team. Garden City looks like the unranked team.
Garden City's defense half asleep to start the 3rd quarter.
Mind you, that was against the Wind, too.
Remember, Hutch scored last week against the Wind. Guidry for the extra point. Snap back, placement good, and the kick towards the uprights, and it's perfect. Dodge City wastes no time taking the lead to begin the 3rd quarter. They go 4 plays, 75 yards, aided by a 65-yard rushing touchdown by Hall, and it's 14-10 Dodge on 99.9 The Rock. For the first time tonight, Dodge City has the lead. Back at Brockbuster Stadium on a short kick. Angle to the right sideline. Picked up by Cameron LeBourne at his own 16. Slashes back left across the 25 to the 23, where he's hit and dropped by Calvon Harris. That's about a 7-yard return. So now with 13:32 left in the third, alongside John Ford, Cedar DeSalvo, Mike Phillisoff, Garden City's down 14-10.
Mike, I'll tell you this. It looks like Garden City's just totally checked out. I mean, it really does. It looks like they're uninspired. I mean, Dodge City is whooping it up over there. We don't do anything to respond to it. It looks like any error that we had in the sails last week has been completely taken out.
1st and 10, Brockbusters from their own 23. First possession of the second half. Half diamond for Irwin, takes the snap, looks left, throws a back shoulder route to Jarman, left sideline at the 45 of Garden City, and that was an errant throw towards the boundary. In coverage, Tyrell Edwards for Dodge City, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Tyrell Edwards on the coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Nothing in the middle, Mike. Nothing in the middle.
And that's a hard throw, and I'm not saying that he can't make it. I mean, that is a college quarterback, but you're going from the right hash, throwing a back shoulder pass to the left side of the field.
I'm telling you, the percentages aren't as high as putting one in the middle.
2nd and 10, Garden from their own 23. 2 receivers left. Irwin wasn't ready for the snap. It comes back, hits off the chest, and then Irwin just has to throw it away. This half couldn't have started any more of a disaster. And the pressure coming from Devin Cowan, 3rd and 10.
It looked like Irwin forgot what the snap count was.
And Cowan is the one who's down now for Dodge City. How would you describe the first defensive sequence and then what the hell you just saw with the snap going off the chest of Mike Irwin?
Uninspired. They have checked out. It looks like they don't care. And you call it what you want. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. We're down 14-10 to an unranked team. We've gone from penthouse to outhouse just like that.
3rd and 10, Garden City from their own 23, down 4 early in the third. They're 2 of 5 on 3rd down. Wide left, Williams. Slot left, LeBourne. 2 receivers right. Damus trots in motion as a tight end left. Irwin in the gun. Chest high snap. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up, and Irwin rifles one down the right sideline. Home run ball. Incomplete. Nobody there.
Unless we have a stealth-like receiver.
Unless he's on the Concorde. It's 4th and 10. John, our receiver was 20 yards away.
Hey. Oh.
So now 4th and 10. The Brockbusters about to punt down 14-10 as Gaines back deep for Dodge.
Very frustrating to watch, for sure.
Willie Gaines back to return.
This is the 4th punt of the night for Carroll. He's averaged 29 on his previous 3. And they've all been almost blocked. That's a short kick with the wind behind him. Takes a Garden City hop. Left sideline out of bounds at the Dodge City 46. Punt for 31 yards, nothing on the return. 13:08 to go 3rd quarter. If you're just tuning in, you have missed a lot. These two teams, the 81st all-time meeting between Garden City and Dodge. Garden has won the last 4. Dodge last 1 over the Brockbusters in 2015. That was the year where the Brockbusters jumped out to I think it was 21-0. And all of a sudden, Dodge came. It was 14-0, and then Dodge scored 21 straight points, and the game was over just like that. But Garden has dominated ever since. Right now, the Conquistadors have lost 15 straight games to ranked opponents. They have a 14-10 lead and the ball with the lights on. The sun has set here in western Kansas. And the Conquistadors are 1st and 10 at their own 46.
I'll tell you what, our vaunted running game, nothing but fool's gold.
3 receivers right, 1 left with McKee in the shotgun. Right now, Garden City is losing to a 3rd-string quarterback. Low snap, McKee takes it. Airs one out, left sideline. Brown is there. He backpedals inside the 15 with a chest-high grab, and he beat Daravel to the 13-yard line again. Daravel's had a tough night. That picks up 41 on a rainbow, and it's 1st down. Daravel was 10 yards away from that play.
if it's a good pass, he scores.
The game is to the 15-yard line.
First and 10.
First down and 10.
They just backed it up to the 15, so officially 39 on the pickup. Dodge City up 14-10, looking for more with 3 receivers, right, 1 left. McKee in the shotgun, staring down a 7-man box. Harris showing a middle blitz. Handoff to Hall, hit behind the line and surges forward. He basically carries Arvell Ferguson, the one-time Missouri commit, back to the line of scrimmage between the hash marks for no gain, and it's second down and 10 for Dodge City. Dodge has outgained Garden City. Are you ready for this? 322 to 171.
They completely dominated.
Second and 10 Dodge from the Garden City 15. 3 wideouts left. Jones comes right, matched up with Alexander. Here comes the blitz, under pressure. McKee has no chance and he's sacked. Guerrero is the one that got to him, back at the 25-yard line. Forward progress gives him around the 20. It's a loss of 5 and it's third down and 15. Jerry Dominguez dialing up an all-out blitz. When nothing else is working, send as many guys as you can. 11:30 to go in the third. 14-10 Dodge. They've got it back left to right. 3rd and 16 at the Garden City 21. Dodge 1 for 5 on third down. They're converting only 30% this year. 2 receivers tight right, 2 tight left, including Gaines and a slot left. Ankle high shotgun snap. Again, the all-out blitz. McKee steps up, fires to the end zone, incomplete. Front left corner, and that was there. Because they beat the blitz. Just an errant throw by McKee. We haven't seen many of those. That was for Gaines, and now it's 4th down and 16.
Unbelievable.
These passes incomplete, intended for Willie Gaines.
And once again, Dodge hurts themselves.
Yep.
They're the only ones to blame for that because that play was there. It was a great play. $1 million move and a nickel throw.
And McKee has played really well.
Yeah, he's played great.
This will be about a 48-yard field goal. Between the hash marks, Orndorff holding for Landon Guidry. Snap is back, the placement is good. On the way to the uprights, end over end, and it's good. So Dodge extends the lead 4 minutes into the third quarter. It's 17-10 Conquistadors on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilasov, Dodge City adds to their lead on a 5-play, 33-yard drive that stalls out, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And Landon Guidry kicks a season-long field goal from, it's actually 38 yards out. I said 48, it was 38. And Dodge City has a 17-10 lead. And now Garden City about to get the football back. And really the only way they've disrupted Dodge City's passing game is to send an all-out blitz.
Yeah,
which is what they did.
And if they miss, then the results of it are almost what you saw there at the end when he completed that pass. Or incomplete pass.
Guidry's end-over-end kick floats to LeBourne, right side numbers at the 15. Dances right, squeezes through a hole across the 30. He's out near the 35. Special teams tackle for Dodge City by Tavares Williams. And that's where the Brockbusters start. 1st and 10 out across their own 30, down 17-10. Just over 4 minutes elapsed here in the third quarter. And what does Garden City do offensively? It's not been a good day all the way around. I mean, the defense has given up big plays, but the offense has done nothing again. This is the third straight game. They were half asleep for 2.5 quarters against Independence and then rallied back.
I don't know if you give up the run, but you don't run on first down all the time.
1st and 10, Garden City from their own 34. Irwin in the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Irwin chest high snap, quick drop, looks right, throws right, and an errant throw. At the 41-yard line of Garden City, looking for Sianu Jarman. In coverage, Trey Harris, who's getting dapped up like he just won Defensive Player of the Year. It's 2nd down and 10.
Well, you know what? It's easy to get Defensive Player of the Year on the passes because they're always to the sidelines. We don't do anything up the middle.
I'm surprised these defensive backs aren't squatting on those routes. I mean, because it's the same play.
Yeah. Even if they set up outside leverage, we're still going to try to go that way.
2nd and 10, Garden City from their own 34. 2 receivers left and right. Shotgun snap to Irwin. Hands it off. Jordan Ford up the middle. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Hit first by Devarian Martin Scott, who chose to sign with South Carolina. Their new head coach, Shane Beamer, who just named the head coach over the last few months. Picks up 2 there at 2nd down. Now 3rd down and 8. He's got one of the top-rated JUCO players coming in. The outside linebacker for Dodge. 3rd and 8, Garden from their own 36. Brockbusters 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Wide left, Jarman. Slot left, Damus. LeBourne right with Williams. Shotgun snap, Irwin under pressure. Floats one up the right sideline for LeBourne, and it bounces off his chest at the Dodge City 32. That was there. Not a bad throw by Mike Irwin. The coverage by Anthony Schaefer. And now it's 4th down and 8. And Garden goes 3 and out for the 2nd straight possession to begin the 2nd half.
I'll tell you what, this is a really critical defensive set of downs for Garden City because if they don't stop them, I'm telling you, we get down by 2 scores. It's going to be tough to come back against them.
Carroll to punt this one away. All night has been under constant duress. Gets that one away, though. Bounces inside the 30, inside the 15, and Carroll does his job. It rolls all the way down to the 1-yard line. What a punt by Carroll. Martez Jones downs it. That's a 63-yard boot, and Dodge City takes over 1st and 10 from their own 1, moving left to right, leading 17-10 with 9:53 remaining in the 3rd.
First play, give it to Hall. If that doesn't work, a slant pass. What do you think, Michael?
Well, that's what they've been running all night.
And we can't stop it. So, you know what? Pretty good odds that's going to happen.
Hall 12 carries for 123. And this defense allows just their 9th 100-yard rusher in the last 51 games.
I think Hall's a better rusher than that kid we saw last week.
Hall's just, he's able to elude. You mentioned it earlier, John. It's the yards after contact.
Yeah, he does a great job. He does not go down on the first hit.
1st and 10, Dodge at their own 1. Under center goes McKee. A little quarterback sneak trying to get some room. And stacked up really for no gain. It didn't work out the way he wanted. Eli Hill and Daravel combined to push him backwards. No gain, and it's 2nd down and 10.
This becomes even more of a critical series of defensive downs just because of the field position they got Dodge in.
Dodge is going into the wind. 2nd and 10, Dodge City from their own 1-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. McKee in the shotgun. Making his first collegiate start here today. The 3rd string quarterback for Ricky Kuhn, and he's played really well. Chest high snap, hands it for Dantzler. Gets out of the end zone and twists forward up the right hash mark near the 3. Check that, the left hash mark out near the 3. Tackle for Garden City made by Teron Sims, the transfer from Iowa Western. Gains, and they actually put it back to the 2, only a yard gain. So now it's 3rd down and 9.
Where you go with slant pattern, quick hitter?
The playbook is wide open, right? Not tonight when the same thing has been working. 3rd and 9, Dodge up 17-10 from their own 10. 7 minutes into the 3rd quarter. McKee in the gun, hands it for Dantzler, up the middle, right back to the line and stood up and then dropped for no gain.
Big set of defensive downs right there for Garden. They did a good job.
So the Blockbuster defense forces a 3 and out. A tackle for the Blockbusters by Kevin Abrams-Verwain. So now 3 and out for Dodge, 4th and 9. They're set to punt from their own 2.
Brought down by Kevin Abrams-Verwain. No gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and 9.
But now can the, I mean, that's great. You keep getting defensive stops, but the offense has done nothing. Orndorff to punt. He was the starting quarterback last year. He got hurt in the Garden City game. His heels are right on the back of the end zone. Swings the right leg through. End over end kick. LeBourne signals for a fair catch and makes it at the Dodge City 28-yard line. That's a 26-yard punt, and the Blockbusters set up right outside the red zone, down 17-10 with 7:36 to go in the third.
You know, considering that wasn't a bad punt.
I mean, you're kicking into a wind.
Yeah. But you know what was even a better play was LeBourne going up and fair catching it. That was huge, simply because if you let it hit the ground, no telling what yardage they would have gotten extra to that.
1st and 10, Garden City, down 17-10, right hash at the Dodge City 28. Irwin and a half diamond, Otto the tight end right. Austin Simmons comes left. Chest high snap, it's a counter tray. Handoff to Ford, bouncing right to the numbers, and he's twisted down to the 25 of Dodge City after a gain of about 3. Brings up 2nd down and 7. That was Brendan Hardy, the linebacker on the tackle for Dodge. Hardy, who plays on the inside, had an offer from K-State out of high school, was an all-district outside linebacker from Washita Parish.
I'll tell you what, Dodge City is not void of talent. They have a lot of talent there.
2nd and 7, Garden City, right hash at the Dodge City 45. Again, the half diamond for Irwin. Takes the snap, hands for Ford. Jitterbugs off right guard, cuts back left. He's inside the 20, right hash to the 17. And he picks up 8. Slayton Clark helps bring him down, along with the outside linebacker, Devin Cowan. Pick up 8 and a 1st down for Garden City.
Gain of 7 on the play, which is good for another Rockbuster.
Rockbusters have not run very well tonight. 21 carries for 54 yards. They're averaging just 2.6 yards a carry. 1st and 10, Garden City in the red zone. At the Dodge 18, Mike Irwin changing the play. Pistol eye, behind him is Ford. Give it to Ford, off right tackle. And he dives forward to the 16-yard line. Slayton Clark pushed him inside. And then finishing him off, Jontrell Stewart. So it picks up about 2 at 2nd down and 8. Coming up on 5.5 to go here in the third. Dodge has lost 15 straight to top 20 opponents. They have not beaten a ranked opponent since 2016. And right now they lead Garden City, the 6th ranked team in the country, 17-10. 2nd and 8 Garden from the Dodge 16. Otto, the tight end left, half diamond for Irwin. Helmet high snap, give it for Ford. Off left guard, back to the right, inside the 5, and he walks in. Touchdown, Jordan Ford. His 2nd of the game and his 9th of the season. And the Blockbusters, thanks to a nice defensive stand, get the ball back and score. Just 4 plays later, they're within 1.
Great blocking on the left side of the line. Ford could have gone almost untouched into the end zone. Kind of pulled away from a defensive back there at the end, but great blocking, great play by Garden.
Carroll for the extra point. 4 plays, 28 yards in 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and the PAT is right down the middle. 5:26 remaining, third quarter. We're tied again at 17 on 99.9 The Rock. Marini's kick goes out of the back of the end zone for another touchback with 5:26 to play third quarter alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff from Brockbuster Stadium. And it's 17-17. Garden was down 17-10. Remember last year, John, at Memorial Stadium in Dodge, Dodge City built a 22-7 lead, and the Brockbusters looked just helpless. And then they came back and scored 35 in a row.
We looked dead in the water, and then all of a sudden, wham. We're up on them by a lot.
17-all. Brockbusters have won 4 straight in this series, coming off that loss on Sunday to number 1 Hutch, who is at Independence on Sunday night this week. 1st and 10 Conquistadors from their own 25. McKee in the shotgun, knee-high snap, looks left, under pressure, eludes Arvell Ferguson, rolls right, throws on the right on the run, and it's incomplete. Nobody there at the Dodge City 40-yard line. Carrick Alexander was in coverage for Garden City. Again, the pressure by Arvell Ferguson. It's 2nd down and 10.
Carrick Alexander on the coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the 25-yard line.
McKee is 10 of 21 for 169 yards in this game. 5:19 to play in the third. Tied at 17. Dodge has it moving left to right between the hash marks at their own 25. They have trips to the near side of the field. Solo wide out left. McKee looks left. Fires on a bubble screen. Caught by Brown. Left side numbers to the 30. Where he's brought down by Ryan Guerrero after a gain of 5. It's now 3rd and 5 for Dodge City.
Good defense by our defensive backs over there on the right side.
Brockbusters lost players in the first half. Antoine Davis, one of their top corners, was ejected for targeting. They lost an offensive lineman. 3rd and 5 Dodge at their own 30, tied at 17 with less than 5 to go in the third. Dodge City 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Play action McKee. Pop pass left, and it's incomplete for Brown. Sumalo had the pressure with Michael Harris right in the face of McKee. Now it's 4th down and 5.
It'll bring up 4th down and 4 from the 31-yard line.
I'll tell you what did it for us on that play was we got some big-time pressure on him right up the middle. And I think that kind of made him throw a little bit quicker than he wanted to, and the receiver wasn't at the point where he wanted to get the ball, and so it fell incomplete. So good pressure dialed up by Coach Dominguez.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs for Dodge City. And Orndorff, who did a nice job just to get that last punt off with his heels towards the back tape of the end zone. On to punt again. LeBourne stands at his own 40. And the play's blown dead. I don't know if a timeout was called. And well, how about an extra shot right there? Kevin Abrams-Verwain just took a right cross from Elisha Turner.
Offense, number 4, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
John, you saw that, right?
Unbelievable.
And no flag.
Yeah.
But there was a delay of game called against Dodge.
Well, I don't think that was unsportsmanlike conduct, Mike.
Okay.
You get slapped right across
Wink,
the face, man.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Let's try this again. Orndorff boots this one away, the right-footed kicker. With a flag coming out as LeBourne lets it bounce. Fields it at his own 32-yard line. And then runs right into Davion Palmer.
Mike, we got nailed for a holding penalty down the right sideline.
Right outside line. 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. But John just pointed this out. This is going to be 10 yards the wrong way with 4:26 to go in the third. Tied at 17, but Garden City has the football back. Dodge City has lost 4 straight in this series. And you think about the game last year, and Ricky Kuhn and I talked about this.
Team, number 14, 10 yards from the end of the run. 1st down.
That was almost unsportsmanlike conduct on the referee. About clock number 6 from Dodge City.
But Ricky Kuhn said, look, you're up 22-7 in the game last year. You got everything going. Garden City had just come off that loss against Snow and that last-second field goal the week before. And then Jace Orndorff, who was slicing up the Brockbuster defense, gets hurt. They go to the backup quarterback, and the Brockbusters scored 35 in a row.
Well, I got to say, McKee is definitely their best quarterback because he...
1st and 10, Garden City from their own 24. Half diamond for Irwin. Takes the snap, turns left, Hands it for Jordan Ford, sweeping towards the edge, 25, turns the corner 30, and is shouldered out of bounds by Slayton Clark. And there comes another flag. This is going to be a late hit against Clark, and I don't even know if that was necessarily a late hit. Out to the 36, so gains 12. This one's going to end up netting 27.
It's kind of an excuse me shoulder pad.
But, I mean, he was still... I mean, Garden City will take it.
Yeah.
But out of all the infractions tonight, that one's probably the most questionable.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit, out of bounds on the defense, number 12, 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
Slayton Clark's played really well. Made his first career start against Coffeyville. Played slot receiver and defensive back in high schools at a North Little Rock High School.
You know, to Coach Kuhn's credit, I think it took a couple of games for him to make some adjustments, but he's made some nice adjustments. I guarantee you it'd be a different story if they played Butler and Coffeyville.
So you're saying the three weeks helped them?
I think it might have helped them.
First and 10, Garden City from the Dodge City 49, 17 all with 4 to go in the third. Pistol eye for Irwin. Otto in motion left to right. LeBourne solo right.
Oops.
And Dodge jumped into the neutral zone. And Jelani Davis is the guilty party, and he pats his chest, says, my bad. It just cost your team 5 yards.
He looked like he got his hands caught in the cookie jar there. He said, oh, gosh.
Offside, defense, number 95, in the neutral zone, made contact. 5-yard penalty, first down.
In the neutral zone. Shoot, he was about ready to take the handoff.
I was going to say, he was behind the line. First and 5 now for Garden City. Left hash at the Dodge 44. 17 all, less than 4 to go in the third. Tight right, LeBourne. Tight end left is Otto. Unbalanced line as Otto goes in motion left to right. Half diamond for Irwin. Takes the snap and drops back on a play action. Looks right, wants it all. Rainbows down the middle. Looking for LeBourne. Incomplete. A lot of contact around the 15-yard line.
Mike, I got to tell you, at about the 25-yard line where he was trying to make his cut, he got held. He got held, and they didn't call a thing. They allowed him to get chucked. That is ridiculous. That is a hold. I mean, it's a blatant hold.
No flag.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Second and 5, Garden City at the Dodge 44. 17 all, 3.5 to go third quarter. Jarman right, Otto the tight end left, motions to the right. In the pistol formation, Irwin turns right, hands for Jordan Ford, slithers off right tackle to the 40-yard line. Right hash with another flag down. And the Dodge City tackle by the middle linebacker, Nico Perofeta, the sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, who was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, as we wait for the call.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense, number 95. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down. Thank you, sir.
No problem. That
95.
Referee forgot to turn his mic off, but 3:20 left here in the third. 17 all. The Bronxbusters on the move. After falling down 17-10, they forced back-to-back 3-and-outs, and they're on the brink of the red zone. Half diamond for Irwin. Damus the H-back right. Behind him is Ford. Jarman goes solo right. Irwin takes the chest-high shotgun snap. Hands it for Ford. Sweeping left with the ball in the left arm and is ushered out of bounds. Pushed out on the near side of the field by Taquan Hayes after a gain of about 2. It's second down and 8.
Pushed out of bounds by Taquan Hayes.
I actually said he stepped out. He might have lost yardage.
Taquan Hayes basically set the edge for that defense. He blew that left tackle up. That left tackle was standing 5 yards in the backfield.
Yeah, they said he was pushed out. He stepped out back at the 28, so that actually loses 3 yards, and now it's second down and 13. Wide right goes Jarman. Tight end left Otto. Half diamond for Irwin on second and 13 from the Dodge 28. Dodge with 8 near the line. Hand off to Ford, off of left guard. Squeezes back right behind a block by Damus, and he's inside the 25 down to the 24. Slayton Clark helps him up. He's the one that makes the tackle. The safety from Little Rock picks up 4. It's 3rd and 9.
So we're going to put all our eggs in the pass here.
Third down and 9 on the 24-yard line.
I would assume so. Rockbusters on third down tonight, 2 of 7 with 1:54 to go in the third.
Predictable, predictable.
Third and manageable here, 3rd and 9, better than 3rd and 13. 3 receivers, check that 4, 2 by 2.
They're in a man.
Irwin in the shotgun. No safety over the top. Chest high shotgun snap. Irwin drops back to throw. Looks left, hit as he throws towards the sideline. Jump ball, and it's almost intercepted near the 10-yard line. That was broken up beautifully by Trey Harris. And now it's 4th down and 9. Meantime, the pressure coming from Javen Sanchez, who was a really good shot put thrower in high school, from J. Frank Doby. It's now 4th and 9.
That'll bring it 4th down and 9 for the 24-yard line.
So from here, it's about a 41-yard field goal.
A 41-yard field goal.
Carroll's already been good from 38. This from the left hash with 1:29 to go in the third. Snap back, placement good. End over end kick to the uprights. It is good. Carroll, who struggled in practice kicking field goals last week, is true there, and the Brockbusters have scored the last 10 to retake the lead. 1:24 to go in the third. 20-17 Brockbusters on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff at Brockbuster Stadium. 1:24 left in the third. Neil Marini boots this one again out of the back of the end zone for Garden City. And the Conquistadors start from the 25-yard line, moving left to right. Garden now leads it 20-17, following the 41-yard field goal by Joe Carroll.
I think I can safely say that we had a letdown after last week's game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's natural, it's human, but you can tell it's really, we're not the same team we were last week, I don't think.
1st and 10, Dodge City moving left to right from their own 25-yard line with McKee in the shotgun. 2 receivers tight left and right. Garden City bluffs blitz, they rush forward, drop 7. McKee steps up, hit as he throws, rainbows one right, and it's almost picked off at the 40-yard line of Dodge City, and that pass was right near Jacoby Jackson's hands, and now it's 2nd down and 10.
Rush 4 that time, so we had 7 back in coverage.
There's not a lot of windows you can throw the ball when there's 7 guys draped all over 4 receivers in a pattern. McKee now 11 of 24 for $174. 2nd and 10, Garden City's defense looking for a 3rd straight 3 and out. Dodge at their own 25. Final minute 20 of the third. 3 receivers slot right, McKee play action. Quick slant right, and the ball dislodged out of the hands of Edwards by Zay Roberson, and those two exchange pleasantries afterwards. At the 25-yard line, it's 3rd and 10 now for Dodge City.
You know, I like the kids playing with enthusiasm, but some of the stuff, they don't, just make your play and go back to the huddle, man. You don't have to talk to the person.
3rd and 10 Dodge from their own 25. Conquistadors 1 for 8 on 3rd down. They have a 2-by-2 here with McKee in the shotgun. Knee-high snap. Garden rushes 4. McKee slides left, throws on the run, and the pass incomplete. Left sideline at the 33. Looking for Brown. In coverage was Darraville. Chris Smith over the top. And now it's 4th down and 10. 3 consecutive 3 and outs for Dodge City.
And the great thing is they have to kick against the wind again.
So Garden is definitely taking advantage of that here in the third.
Now, I sure would like to see us do something besides run, pass. Wouldn't you, Michael?
I would. 5th punt of the night for Orndorff. LeBourne drops back at his own 48, right on the Blockbuster logo, painted in brown in the middle of the field.
Ooh.
Line drive kick. It's a nice kick into the wind, and it rolls out of bounds at the Garden City 38. 37-yard punt, nothing on the return, and another flag back by where the punter is.
Just got another unsportsmanlike conduct. Another Buster is disqualified.
There is a flag after the play was over.
And that might be on Teron Sims. It's either on Sims or Kevin Abrams-Verwain.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team, number 43, 15 yards from the end of the kick. Number 43 is ejected for his second unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'm telling you, Tom Minnick is raiding the dorms next week for players.
You know what?
Am I right?
Why can't you just shut up and go back to the huddle? You know, senseless penalties.
And these are costly because they're costing you players.
Plus, you're being selfish. You're being selfish because you all of a sudden made yourself bigger than the team. And the team needs you.
3-yard line.
1:01 to go here. In the third, Blockbusters up 20-17. They've lost another player. 1st and 10, Garden from their own 23. Irwin half diamond. Otto in motion right to left. Chastai snap, turns left, hands for 4. Gets the edge and turns the corner. 30 to the numbers 40. And ushered out 41-yard line of Garden City. Pushed out by Trey Harris after a gain of 18.
That looked like a sprint draw right there. Very nice play.
Very patiently. That was probably the most patient we've seen Jordan Ford all night. They actually pushed it to the 42.
And Irwin really had to struggle to get there to the contact point or the mesh point.
Final half minute of the third. 20-17 Garden. They've got it dressed in the all goal from their own 42, 1st and 10. LeBourne solo right. They move their right guard as an extra tackle on the left side on 1st and 10. Irwin changing the play in a half diamond. Damas the H-back left. Ford behind Mike Irwin. And it's Ford again, going left and runs into a wall. Ran right into Dave Juan Desime. And Desime twists him down back at the 38. That loses Ford, and 2nd down and 14.
So you're going to telegraph that you're going to the weak side and then go to the weak side.
I mean, if you have an extra blocker over there, he's not going right.
You know which way that defense is going to slant, don't you?
Third quarter complete here from Blockbuster Stadium. Garden 20, Dodge 17 on 99.9 The Rock. Start of the fourth quarter from Blockbuster Stadium alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilosoff, 20-17. Blockbusters with a 3-point lead and the ball. They have a 2nd and 14 now at their own 38.
Mike, if it's any consolation, the wind is down to 9 miles an hour out of the south.
Thank you, sir. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Irwin takes the chest high snap of the shotgun, looks left, rifles one left. And a beautiful snag that time by Austin Simmons near midfield at the Garden 48. He just took that away from Desime. That picks up 10, and now it's 3rd down and 4.
Irwin's pass is complete to Austin Simmons.
Mike Irwin is 9 of 20 for 139 yards. He started 5 of 9. He has 4 of his last 11. Garden on third down tonight is 2 of 8. Ball resting left hash at their own 48, now moving north to south into the wind, left to right. 2 receivers left and right. Slot right is LeBourne. Chest high snap. Irwin, quick drop, looks right, floats one right, and too tall for Cameron LeBourne outside the right hash at the Dodge 47.
That's on Irvin. Cameron LeBourne was there. I mean, they had an all-out blitz, cover 0, and Irwin just missed the throw.
Taekwon Hayes was the defensive back in coverage for Dodge City. More often than not, that's been the case. That's what happened last week. And you can put the blame on the receivers for the drops, but some of that's on Irwin as well.
Yeah, that was on Irwin. That was just a horrible throw.
Carroll to punt. Gaines back deep at his own 20, just underway in the 4th. And here they come after Carroll and somehow gets it.
How do you not block that?
He gets it off with 2 guys in his face, and it's touched up right side numbers by Jacoby Jackson at the Dodge City 33. 19-yard punt. Joe Carroll all night has had guys in his face, and he's gotten the punt away.
Mike, I think 2 of those guys from Dodge City asked him what his phone number was. Why aren't they blocking it?
So now, 1st and 10, they put it at the 34 for Dodge City. 20-17 Garden City. Early 4th quarter. And the number stands again. Dodge has not beaten a ranked opponent since 2016.
Tell you what, if they're going to do it, they'll do it tonight.
3 receivers, left, 1 right. Low snap. This is Mel Dantzler in the game. He starts left, slants right. Then Michael Harris, the linebacker, the transfer from Auburn, hits him at the 35. He falls forward to the 36. Gains 2 at 2nd down and 8.
I wonder what happened to Hall. I wonder if he got injured. Because we haven't seen him.
After that long run.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that offensive line for Dodge City, they're doing a great job.
2nd down and 8, Dodge from their own 36, down 3 early in the 4th with trips left, single wide out right. Dantzler, the big back on the left hip of the quarterback McKee. And it's a trap handoff to Dantzler, sheds a tackler going right, breaks another 45, and he's twisted down right numbers at the 49 of Dodge City. Darrell rides him down, the defensive back, after a gain of 13 and another Dodge first down.
I don't think it makes a difference if Call's injured or not because Dantzler is the same kind of back. He just pulls away.
Dantzler, who is from Detroit, Michigan, but he played high school ball in Alabama. He rushed for 1,100 yards on 192 carries and 11 touchdowns as a senior. 1st and 10 Dodge City, just across their own 48. 2 receivers, left and right. McKee in the gun, puts it right back in the belly of Dantzler. Hit at the 49 and spins his way near the 50-yard line with another flag down.
It was number 78 for Dodge City. He absolutely grabbed the defender and threw him down and sat on top of him.
Can't do that.
It was a proverbial hold with a sit.
Holding. Offense number 56, 10-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't draw up a hold any better than that. That was, I mean, you got to give the kid credit. That was a terrific hold. There was no way that defender was going to get there.
I'm glad you're bragging on a penalty.
I'm just happy it's not against us. I thought, oh, crud, another player.
1st and 21 now. Dodge back at their own 38. Dodge has 11 penalties for 115 yards. 1st and 21 Dodge at their own 38, down 3, 20-17, 12:50 left in the 4th. Quick pop pass over the middle. Gaines has it. Goes right to the numbers 50, 45, 40. Zigzags back left 30. Has open space 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Another coverage bust. This one goes for a 62-yard catch and run and a touchdown. And Dodge regains the lead early in the 4th.
It was a great play. I mean, it was a quick hitter, and that's what they've been doing all night to beat the rush of Garden City. And that's how you beat that defense, is you get a quick pop pass or a quick screen or bubble screen, and automatically you've put that defense on its heels. Plus, you have half the team rushing the quarterback, so they're going to be looking with their heads turned at the runner going down the field for a touchdown.
3 plays, 66 yards in a minute 29. Guidry for the extra point. That one's nearly blocked. We've been saying nearly a lot tonight, and that extra point is good. 12 and a half to go, 4th quarter. Dodge City, unranked, 1-2. Hasn't beaten a ranked opponent in half a decade, and they have a 24-20 lead over Garden on 99.9 The Rock. Alongside John Ford, Cito DeSalvo, Brockbusters trailing again, 24-20 now with 12 and a half to go. And the Brockbusters get the football back at his own 3-yard line. This is LeBourne left hash to the middle of the field, 15-20. Across the 30, grabbed around the face mask, and there's the flag. Slayton Clark with his second infraction of the day, and LeBourne is out near the 40-yard line, and he can add 15 more.
You know, I haven't heard from CD. I wonder if he got tossed.
I might as well have.
He's been at a loss for words the entire half.
Personal foul. Face mask on the kicking team, number 12. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Slayton Clark's played well. He had that fumble recovery earlier. Had a couple of pass breakups, a couple of tackles, but he's also been flagged twice now. That's a 15-yarder that puts the Brockbusters on the plus side of the 50 at the 46 of Dodge. First and 10 Brockbusters, down 24-20, 12 and a half to go. Solo left LeBourne, Otto the tight end in motion right to left. Irwin in that half diamond. Chest high snap, gives it for Ford. Off left tackle, breaks a tackle, cuts back right, and drags Stewart all the way down to the 35, getting help from Clark again. That picks up 11 on a first down rumble by the running back Jordan Ford. Move the chains.
Tell you what, old Jordan, he runs hard.
That's what's disappointing, John, about last week, because a lot of those runs were blocked well, and he just couldn't break them.
Yeah.
First and 10 Brockbusters on the 35-yard line.
12 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Garden down 24-20. They have first and 10 at the Dodge 35.
Nice kid, too.
Wide left, LeBourne. Half diamond with the H-back left, Damus. Shotgun snap, turn left, hand for Ford. Again off the left side, breaks a tackle. There he goes, 20, 15, 10, angling left, touchdown, Jordan Ford. Ford reaches the end zone for the third time tonight. 11:39 to go, and we go back and forth in the fourth, and the Brockbusters have the lead again. 35-yard house call for Ford.
I'll tell you what, it's exciting to see him getting his yards now. I mean, he's running tough right now.
3 plays, 2 plays actually, one helped out by the penalty on the face mask, and Carroll's extra point is good. So the drive summary, 2 plays, 61 yards in 57 seconds. Jordan Ford now, 29 carries for $152 and 3 rushing touchdowns. Garden 27, Dodge 24 on 99.9 The Rock. Blockbuster fans holding their breath as Benny Chukwu, the backup tight end, took it from his own 15 and nearly broke one all the way out to the 43-yard line on the ensuing kickoff. That's where Dodge City starts now with 11:33 to go, John. Blockbusters leading 27-24.
You know, give credit to the left side of that offensive line. They did a good job that last drive, blowing holes open for Jordan Ford.
1st and 10, Dodge City moving from right to left at their own 43 with McKee in the shotgun, 2 receivers left and right. Hands for Dantzler, hit behind the line, running right, and dropped for a loss. Raymond Cutts puts his right index finger in the air, says, yep, that was my tackle. Loss of a yard back at the 42, and it's 2nd down and 11. So something must have happened to C.J. Hall. Maybe we can get... Do you see him on the side? I know you're on the opposite side, CD.
I can't see that far across the numbers.
2nd down and 11 now, Dodge from their own 42. Dantzler, the backup running back. 3 receivers, slot left. Check that, 4 receivers now. Carrick Alexander backs off on the left side. Back to throw McKee. Screen right. Caught by Dantzler, chest high. Hit at the 47. Falls forward, right numbers to the 48. Tackled by Chris Smith after a gain of 6, and now it's 3rd and 5.
I will tell you that Arvell Ferguson has been dealing with an injury over here. Can't tell what it is, but he just seems like he's shaken up, and he's not in on this defensive possession.
All the players you've already lost, including Antoine Davis. 3rd and 6, Dodge City down 27-24 with 10:15 left here in the 4th. On their own 47, they are 1 for 9 on 3rd down. Brown comes wide left. Jones wide right. 4 in all, 2 by 2. Knee-high shotgun snap. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Whistles one down the middle, incomplete. At the Garden City 10-yard line on the go route was trying to hit Jones. It was Darreville and Zay Roberson with help over the top for Garden City in coverage. It's 4th and 6.
You got punt it right now. Try to pin Garden back deep.
And I would expect not one pass play on this next sequence for Garden City.
You know what? I'm disappointed that you say that, Michael. Man, you got to play to win, not play to be conservative. God.
But you saw Garden City go conservative in the first half with the win behind them early in the game. Orndorff, the right-footed kicker, spirals this one to LeBourne, who fair catch signaled for. Yes, fair catch at his own 13. 40-yard kick, nothing on the return. 9:52 to go here in the 4th quarter, alongside John Ford, Cedar DuSalvo, Mike Pilosoff from Blockbuster Stadium. And so they mark this off. I believe it's right around the 14, but the Blockbusters were down at one point, 17-10. Came back, took the lead. Dodge then jumped back and forth. We changed leads a couple of times here in the 4th quarter.
Tell you what, LeBourne's been a steady Eddie all this year. I've been really impressed with this play. Somebody's going in the tent for us.
Injuries, ejections. It's going to be the walking wounded in 2 weeks against Coffeyville.
Busters want you.
Signs all over the dorms. 1st and 10, Garden from their own 14. Half diamond for Irwin. High snap, brings it down. Hands for Ford, runs left, cuts back right across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Tackled by Brendan Hardy, the interior linebacker, the all-district linebacker from Ouachita Parish from Monroe, Louisiana. Picks up 2 at 2nd down and 8.
All you got to do to sell it, Michael, is just say, if you can block a 300-pounder, we'll pay for your books next semester.
That's a pretty nice sell. Dodge City coming into this year, 5 times the last 8 years, their defense has finished bottom 20. They came in allowing 264 yards per game. So far to Garden today, they've given up 291. 2nd and 8, Garden City from their own 16. Another half diamond for Irwin. Gives it right back for Ford. Surges up the middle near the 18-yard line and taken down by Devin Cohen, the outside backer. Give him the 19, picks up 3. It's 3rd and 5.
Michael, you're prophetic. I don't even know what that means, but you are.
If you're going to say it, you have to be able to spell it. 3rd and 5, Garden City from their own 19. Less than 9 to go in the 4th. Garden 27, Dodge 24. The Blockbusters ranked 6th in the country. They were ranked third going into Hutch on Sunday, lost that game 23-7.
Confusion.
Yep.
Confusion.
Gave a timeout here in a
You're
second.
going to have a timeout.
Play clock's at 10.
10 seconds.
Call a timeout.
And here it is. So a miscommunication between Mike Orthman and Mike Irwin, the two Mikes, with 8:25 to go here in the fourth. 27-24 Garden, back in 30 on 99.9 The Rock.
It's
Alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo, Mike Pilasov, 27-24. The sixth-ranked Brockbusters lead the 1-2 Conquistadors in the 81st all-time meeting between these longtime rivals, separated by just 50 miles. Dodge at one point was up 7. Garden City came back with 10 straight. They've exchanged the lead a couple of times here in the fourth, but Brockbusters a critical 3rd and 5 from their own 19. They're 2 of 9 on 3rd down. Jalen Williams right, LeBourne goes left. Shotgun for Irwin. Chest high snap. Dodge rushes 5. Flip pass down the middle. He's got LeBourne, a juggling catch down the sideline to the Dodge 35. Tackled by Tyquan Hayes. Another amazing reception by LeBourne. It's a gain of 46 and a Brockbuster first down.
Boy, that was a heck of a pass. They always work on that in pregame, too. So finally it paid off.
Dodge sent the house on the blitz.
It's the least conservative thing they've done all night.
There's life down there.
10 of 22 Irwin for 184 yards. LeBourne 2 catches for 58. 1st and 10 Garden for the Dodge 36. Back into a half diamond for Irwin. On his right hip now is Martez Jones. No Bryce Davis. This is Davion Hodges. And Hodges works for maybe 2 yards off right guard. Picks up maybe 2. And the tackle made by Trey Harris at 2nd down and 8. Actually gave him 3. Put it to the 33-yard line. So Ford is out, Hodges in with 7:20 left in the fourth. 27-24. Garden City by 3 with the ball. Wide left, Jarman. Tight end right is Damus. Half diamond. Damus goes in motion right to left. Helmet high snap. Give it to Hodges off left guard. Squirts back right. And he's inside the 30 to the 29 before he's tripped up by the defensive back Tyquan Hayes. Picks up 4 and it's 3rd and 3.
Boy, he came close to breaking that.
Less than 7 to go. Here in the fourth quarter. Garden City is now over 300 total yards, 346 for the game, and a lot of that coming here in the second half. 3rd and 3. Garden at the Dodge 29, nursing a 3-point lead. 6.5 to go. Irwin in the pistol. Motions Damus from right to left. Chest high snap. Gives it for Hodges. Up the middle, 20. Left hash, 15. To the 10. Breaks the tackle, 5. Touchdown. And he high steps into the brown painted end zone. 29 yards for Hodges. And Garden City extends the lead up 9, 33-24 with a tick over 6 to go in the fourth.
Once again, Michael, that was the left side of the line who they absolutely annihilated the right side of Dodge City's defensive line. That hole was huge. I don't think he was touched.
You may be right. Well, he broke a couple of tackles, but at least the initial containment.
How did he do that?
As Carroll, put that underneath the armpit of Trey Harris, who nearly blocked the extra point. 6:14 to go in the fourth. Garden has a 10-point lead, 34-24 on 99.9 The Rock. 6:14 left in this one alongside John Ford, C.D. DeSalvo.
Kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Mike Pilosoff, that ensuing kickoff by Leo Marini goes out of bounds. So that starts the next Conquistador drive at the 35-yard line with 6:14 to go. Dodge City's offense, besides that long C.J. Hall run, and then you had the pass play, really, Garden City's bottled them up. They've had the two big plays here in the second half. We have not seen C.J. Hall the last couple of possessions. McKee's in the shotgun on first down. Hall is back in now, and a quick throw left is incomplete by McKee, looking for gains at the 40-yard line of Dodge City. In coverage for the Brockbusters was Malay. Now it's second down and 10.
Tell you what, it's a good thing they didn't look at Hall because he was wide open. There was nobody around him, and I hate to think what he can do in open space.
Well, we've already seen it.
Yeah, I mean, he is explosive.
C.J. Hall was an outside linebacker and a defensive back in high school. He's built like an outside linebacker. Second and 10, Dodge City from their own 35. Three receivers, slot left, shotgun for McKee. Hands it off, Hall. Check that, this is Gaines, dancing right across the 40, sheds a tackler to the 43.
And once again, that Dodge City offensive line is just blowing Garden City off by at least 3 or 4 yards.
Darreville helping out on that stop, picks up 8, now it's 3rd and 2. Less than 6 to go. Dodge has all 3 timeouts. They're down 10, 34-24. Conquistadors 1 of 10 on 3rd down. 3rd and 2 from their own 43. 3 receivers again, slot left. They give it to Gaines, and he is hit at the line and dropped. Shamar Pearl and Samalu drop him at the 41 between the hash marks. It's a loss of 2 back at the Dodge 41, and now it's 4th and 4, and you'd almost expect Dodge to go for it here.
You're going to have to. Good thing is they're not stopping that clock.
5:10 to go.
There they go.
Dodge called a timeout.
Timeout.
I was going to
Dodge
say,
City, their first charge for the half.
they're going to need to call a timeout because if you're a 4th down, you want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
All right, so the Brockbusters scored first in this game, 10 plays, 88 yards, and it was Jordan Ford to the house, one of 3 rushing touchdowns on the night. But Dodge City eventually came back and tied it with about 3.5 to go in the second quarter. And then Joe Carroll kicked a field goal towards the end of the half. It was 10-7 Brockbusters going to the intermission. But Dodge came back with that C.J. Hall 65-yard rushing touchdown. And then Guidry kicked a 48-yard field goal. Dodge was up 17-10. But then Ford had a 16-yard rushing touchdown. Carroll added a field goal. And the Brockbusters were up 20-17 going to the 4th. But we changed leads a couple of times. McKee had Willie Gaines for a 62-yard touchdown to put Dodge back on top 24-20 with 12.5 to go. But since that point, the Brockbusters have scored the last 2 touchdowns, one by Jordan Ford from 35 yards out, and then the other by his backfield mate, Davion Hodges from 29, and that's where we stand 34-24. Garden City with a 10-point lead. Dodge City now facing a 4th and 4 from their own 41 with 5:10 to go, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Brown and Faison come left. Wide right, Jones. Edwards to the right of the quarterback, McKee. Gaines is on his left hip. He's in the shotgun. Motions Edwards out. It's a screen pass, batted up in the air by Malay and almost intercepted.
What a play.
Malay, the transfer from Snow, couldn't locate it, but he bats it up in the air on 4th down, and the Brockbusters take over.
Tremendous play by Malay. I thought he was going to catch it and run it in.
That would have been spectacular.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a play a few years ago. Back in 2017, Austin Robertson had a pass deflected up in the air in the end zone, and then he caught it against Butler on the road. Garden takes over at the Dodge 41, 5:07 to go. Brockbusters up 34-24. Ford is the back behind Irwin in the pistol as Damus motions as the tight end left. And they give it to Ford. Ball in the right hand, hit at the 40 and dropped there. A suplex tackle that time by Tylo Logo, the sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. Very good high school wrestler, was also on the track team, was a shot put man. That's a gain of a yard at 2nd down and 9.
Mike, on that play, the lead blocker, he got blown up. In fact, I think he may have whiffed on this block.
Well, and keeping that in mind, the Brockbusters are without Basa Balaganai. He's one of the guys that got tossed in the second quarter.
You know, this is where Xavier Peters would be really useful.
Peters had the big game against Baptist, and then haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
2nd and 9 Garden from the Dodge 40 on the right hash. Halftime, and for Irwin, gives it right back for Ford. The offensive line collapses again, and it's Maurice Campbell, the backup defensive tackle who played in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl high school all-star game. He wears 59 because his grandma, who passed away at the age of 59, he's in on that stop back at the 43. That loses 3, and now it's 3rd down and 12.
Also 3 on the play, and we're going to 3rd down and 12.
It's at the Dodge City 43, but the clock right now is Dodge City's worst enemy with less than 4 to go. 34-24 Garden City. Brockbusters have next week off, then they close the year home against Coffeyville and then in El Dorado against Butler.
And Coffeyville's not going to be an easy,
not at all,
easy task.
Former Brockbuster coach Jeff Leiker, now the head man there. 3rd and 12 Garden from the Dodge 43. Irwin in the gun, takes the snap, floats one left. That one took an hour to finally arrive at its intended target, and it's hauled in by Jalen Williams and tackled immediately by Tavarian Martin Scott at the Dodge City 36. Gain of 7, it's 4th and 5.
Good thing the clock is running, so you can take your time, you can think about this, maybe call a timeout.
I don't think there's really anything to think about. You just punt the ball away. I know the wind is in your face, but you're up by 10, there's 3 minutes to go.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you, but just to run the clock down.
Yeah, that part I agree too. We're just agreeing. We're in sync. Jordan Ford's been the man tonight. 3 rushing touchdowns for the sophomores. Recently been offered by UMass.
Jordan Ford has?
Timeout.
That's great.
Garden City, their second charge.
Good for him.
Ford, 33 carries for 155 and 3 touchdowns. Mike Irwin, 11 of 23, 191 yards. Rockbusters have totaled nearly 200 rushing yards. And remember, John, how they started this game was really atrocious. They couldn't block Dodge City.
Yeah.
And
well, you know what's really kind of interesting is the fact that when all the talking and the chirping stopped, that's when Garden started to do their thing. But during the chirping and stuff like that, that's when things were kind of a mess.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, once we get that out of the way, then we're going to establish our dominance. And that's basically what Garden City's done. They've given up some big plays. I'll tell you this, the offense in the second half has played much better than the defense because the defense gave up those 2, they had the 2 coverage busts.
Yeah. Of course, it doesn't help that the defense has lost, 3 or 4 players due to unsportsmanlike fouls. And, you know, that's our own doing. That's not, nobody else is doing except ours.
And we have not seen, and this we should point out too, we haven't seen Keelan Kennedy. Antoine Davis was ejected from this game. Seen a lot of Carrick Alexander and Darraville. CD, if you could tell us, is Keelan Kennedy even on the sideline?
Yes, he is, without pads on and shorts.
There you go. 4th and 5. Garden keeps the offense on the field. Irwin throws a strike over the middle of LeBourne. Down to the Dodge City 24.
Middle of the field, too, by the way. That was a great pass.
Tyquan Hayes on that twisting tackle. It's a gain of 13 on 4th and 5, and the Brockbusters now can try and run out the clock.
They can salt this one away.
Dawson Otto on crutches. They need this bye week.
Bye week in a hurry.
Yep.
Garden's one of the only teams that hasn't had a bye week. 2:20 left in the 4th. Garden up 10, 34-24. They have 1st and 10 between the hash marks at the Dodge 23. That's why Martez Jones is in right now as the H-back. Damus is the tight end right. Elmwood High snap, give it for Ford. Patiently waits right, runs back to the left, and the offensive line collapses again. And it's Javen Sanchez.
I think the Garden
someone
City,
down.
Yeah, somebody got nailed.
One of the offensive linemen.
We don't need to lose any of them.
And I want to say that was Dave DeSamsapa, but Loss of 2 back to the 25-yard line.
You know, say what you want to about how they play, because, I mean, we get on their butts about how they play. But I'll tell you what, these kids are tough kids. They're tough-minded, and they're just tough physically.
2nd and 12 Garden from the Dodge 25. Snap to Irwin, hands for Ford, comes back to the right. And right back to the line of scrimmage, not much more. As he collides with Slayton Clark. And they give him the 24. It's a gain of a yard. Now it's 3rd down and 11.
I wonder what they...
Dodge City, their second charge of the half.
I wonder what would happen, Mike, if we put a defensive lineman to lead block for that, for Jordan.
Where's Jeremy Falk when you need him?
But, I mean, what a time to try it.
I mean, you're down, as CD already mentioned, Dawson Otto is out. And we always say when there's a bye week that the bye week comes at a perfect time. Well, you don't have Jonathan Huggins. He's out for the remainder of the regular season. And crazy things have to happen for the Broncbusters to even have a chance. First of all, they have to win out. You have to have Independence beat Hutch tomorrow, which is a possibility. And then you have to have Snow or Kilgore lose. Kilgore losing is a better possibility than Snow losing, because Snow, after playing a tough schedule to start, it's a cupcake schedule after that. So a lot of things have to happen. But what's crazy about this, because not every team is playing, because like the Mississippi schools played in the fall. They didn't elect to play in the spring. So all you have to do is you win the rest of your games, and then you need some help.
Yeah, let the chips fall where they may.
I mean, that's all you can do.
That's what you got to do. But you can't worry about what other people, you just got to take care of your business.
No, but if you win and take care of business and Independence helps you out, now you have a 3-way tie at the top of the conference.
And you got a shot.
3rd and 11 Garden City at the Dodge 24. Irwin takes the snap and the pistol, looks right, throws to the end zone, front right pylon, incomplete for Cameron LeBourne. Trey Harris in coverage again for Dodge City, and now it's 4th and 11.
That's an interesting call.
With a minute to go. Fourth and 11. LeBourne has been targeted 8 times. He has 3 catches for 71. And the offense looks like it's staying on the field. Saying same play. That's what they're saying. Well, the microphone's around. You pick up a lot. 4th and 11. Garden at the Dodge 24. Shotgun for Irwin. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Takes the snap. Hands for Davion Hodges. Squirts around right end 20 and pushed out into the 17. Shoved out by Anthony Schaefer. He comes up hobbled. And that's a turnover and downs. Dodge City takes over. That's pickup of about 7 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Garden City, even though it looks like they're going to win this game, they were pushed tonight. They were pushed big time.
And Dodge City, when they go back and look at the film, they were their worst enemy all night. They had 2 chances in the red zone to start the game and failed on both.
Yep.
They had a 17-10 lead in the second half, and Garden City came back. Had another lead in the 4th quarter, and then the Broncbusters came back and took the lead. 1st and 10 Dodge from their own 17. This is Mel Dantzler. He pushes the pile near the 20, up the middle. Cameron Johnson on the tackle for Garden, gains 3. It's 2nd down and 7, and that's a big loss. And I'm not sure what happened to C.J. Hall.
Yeah, I mean, we never saw him. He came out there towards the end, but you would have thought the success he had rushing that he would be in there a lot more.
So I don't know if it was an injury or what, but, Dantzler's taking the...
And I'm not saying Dantzler's a bad back. He's a good back. He's a good replacement, but...
Well, C.J. Hall is your main guy.
Yeah.
2nd and 7 Dodge from their own 20. Final 16 seconds of this one. 34-24 Garden City. It's a handoff. And breaking tackles, one after the other, is Calvin Harris, the 3rd string back. He's out near the 41-yard line. Chris Smith helped bring him down. It's a gain of 21, and that's the end of the game. Once they resume the clock, once they move the chains.
You know what? I think Coach Dominguez is doing a good thing. He's going out there and grabbing those players, telling them get to the end zone.
Final
Don't say a
seconds
word.
ticking off the clock, and the Brockbusters survive a 34-24 win over Dodge City. They trailed in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth, and they were able to finish this one off thanks to Jordan Ford and Davion Hodges. Those 2 touchdowns over the final 11:30 helped the Brockbusters secure their 5th win of the year, final 34-24. It was not a clean game by any stretch.
Mike, you know what? If nothing else, we rebounded from a tough loss last week. And so it's good to get back on the winning note. And, hopefully we learned some things. We've learned that we've got to basically walk the halls the next 2 weeks and look for players.
Yes. That is a true statement. 34-24, Garden City beats Dodge City. Take a timeout. Your post-game show fueled by Greg Calcinetti next on 99.9 The Rock.